All right, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Fourever Rivals. You might hear me cough every once in a while, but yeah, I'm a little bit sick. So here we go. Look at that. Look at that. Look at the Spuds getting overexcited, beating a bottom three side again. Well done. You've done well. All right, so we got what was it?
That's my Spud.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Another
Yeah,
Spud
over
getting excited. Look, he's getting excited over beating a bottom three side. Well done. Well
that's
done.
All right. Well, we won.
Yeah,
we beat him.
Hello there to Smegoff. Galicchio's here. We met him over there at the stage show, and we got look at this. How's it going, boys? How much are the baggers winning by Quinn? We're going to discuss that a little bit later. We'll discuss that for sure. And of course, we got our favorite drink. Hey, the Matula family, welcome there. And we got Enzo. And Seba's always in there. How are we, guys? Seba's ready to throw a few bombs, I reckon. Who else have we got here? Evening, Rocco Rivals crew. All right, let's crank it up. Joe, we met Joe there. Oh, look at this already. Thank you very much, Lone Wolf. We met him at we all met him there at the stage show. Hey all. Don't get too excited, Mark. It's only West Coast at Marvel. My granny could have beaten them at Marvel. Ha 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 ha! Quinn, I love you. I hope you're ready for Sunday afternoon. I think he is. So thank you very much, Lone Wolf. What do we got? We got Jason. Mate, we've got a phone heaps in the chat already, man. Welcome to everyone. Josh. So let's say hello. We'll start from the top here. Queenie, how are you, mate? From the Tiger Den. The one and only Tiger Den. How are you, mate?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. I'm a little bit nervous for how this chat might end up teeing off for me tonight with the game coming up this week, but we'll talk about it. But no, I'm good. I'm good. Happy to be here.
We're going to do, when it comes to our game, we'll do a big review, and we decided to go into it, and we'll do some matchups, and so we'll see what you guys can do, what you can do to match us. We'll have a bit of a chat later. And there at the bottom, Magpie Manny never changes. Look at him. How you going, mate?
Good evening to everyone. Yeah, look, it's a cold, gold afternoon. It's amazing how you're sitting there already want to put poor Quinn. We're going to talk about our team, this and that. All of a sudden, you're smiling, Rocco. If you were a woman putting on lipstick, you'd be covering your ears. It's how happy you are inside at the moment. Carl's looking good, and you want to sit there. You know what? You're kicking him. You're kicking him while he's down and out. Come on, mate. Come on. What are you going to talk about? It's a Rivals. All right. Yeah. Anyway, I know I'm starting off a bit annoyed, but it might be that kind of show today. And a very warm good evening to everyone out there. And I will be pulling out the bazooka later on, Peter, as a request by you. And good evening to the boys, and good evening to you too, Rocco.
Have you finished?
Yes.
Have you finished? Because I don't understand what your problem is, that when a rival game comes up, that we discuss it. Like, what's wrong with that? Because Quinny has a channel, and people tune in to hear it. But unlike you fucking bananas at the bottom, you just come out and go, you came on at 7:29, you haven't prepared anything, and then you come on, and then when it's Essendon and Collingwood, you give them nothing. Why would the Collingwood people come and listen to this channel when you give them nothing? What did you give them? When they talked, what did you give them?
Good evening to you too, Rocco.
You gave them nothing. Again, you gave them nothing.
Yeah,
you gave them nothing. You come up with nothing. You look at the AFL chat. You look at the AFL app just before you get on, right?
And deep breath.
So tell me why. I want to know.
This is all part of counselling.
I want to know.
This is all part of counselling.
What did I say before the show, Manny?
Deep breath.
What did I say? I want to know from the Hollywood people in the chat, what does Manny give you? Like, they come for information and you give them nothing. Let's move on. Already bored me. Now, we've got Seba straight away. Queenie doesn't cop it. I will ban the whole topic. So that's what happens when someone loves you. Oh, look, Seba's
Right, I'm prepared tonight.
Until I get you, Seba, and kick you straight in the back. Shut up. All right. Then we've got at the bottom. He's happy you were waving your flag before, weren't you? That fucking stupid.
Why not, mate? It's part of the tradition, mate. The Kevin Sheedy jacket waving, mate. Why not? Why can't I enjoy it while I can, mate?
I would wave it too if we bet bottom three, lad. All right, that's very.
It doesn't matter about betting bottom three, mate. It's about being the tradition of the Kevin Sheedy jacket waving, and we bet West Coast. And time will come where they'll probably do the same thing when they become stronger and better as well. So, what have Carlton got to show when they win? What do they got?
We just sit there, we enjoy, we go home, we watch the game, and that's it. We don't do antics like you.
A bit of Robbie Williams, just jump in your bed there and get underneath the blankets. And
Robbie Williams was going around America. He was going around America the other day, fucking with his Carlton jump. At least we got someone who follows you. Who follows you? Who follows you? Who follows you? The Moran brothers. Who
Why would he be wearing the Carlton jumper?
Who follows you? Scarface. Who follows you?
Good evening.
Why would he be wearing the jumper?
Good evening.
Only players should be wearing the jumper.
Welcome to Fourever Rivals.
Robbie Williams is a Carlton supporter.
Yeah, I know, but he's wearing the jumper. Even you say to me, if whoever wears the jumper, unless they're a player, should not be wearing a jumper. Exactly. Unless they're a young kid, they should be wearing the jumper.
That's right.
The Guernsey.
Yeah, right.
The Guernsey.
The top spot was wearing the jumper.
I've always stood by that.
He was wearing the jumper, and he sits there and mate, talk about wanting some attention. Come on, Robbie.
You think that Robbie Williams needs attention?
Yeah, he does. He does.
You couldn't even name a Robbie Williams song, mate.
Yeah.
Name one.
DJ.
Yeah, what's that called?
It's called I Couldn't Give a Shite.
Yeah, you're full of shit. All right, listen, before we keep on going on, I'm glad we're seeing Rat Poison. All those things you were saying last week, you were going to smash us. No one was, how we were going to stop Cameron. He always kills us. At least you came on, Rat Poison. Well done. Your team's done, mate. All right, let's get back to you at the bottom here, right? Because of you, and as you can see, you are on the wall now. Can you see it? Carlton security doors and blinds, mate. So,
where is it? I can't see it.
We've got all the sponsors up there now. So, and let's have a look at what we've got. Look at this. I've got a nice new design for you. Look at this one here.
Whoa.
Hello.
Carlton security doors and blinds. And as they say, we protect the most important thing, your family. Wait.
Spot on, Rocco.
What's everyone saying? They want to hear the song, do they?
Come on, Rocco.
Oh, yes.
Sing it out, mate.
Oh, yes, Rocco.
Right,
let's do it.
Go. If you want your family to be safe, Carlton security doors and blinds is the place that don't support a Fourever Rivals and really top mate. And don't forget the ring 83394848. And don't forget the ring 83394848.
Oh, that's so
Carlton
catchy, Rocco.
security doors and blinds. Roof.
Yeah, roof, mate. Fantastic, mate. Mate, it's getting catchy, that song, to be honest. I might have to start producing that. But, of course, give us a call at 83394848 for a free measure and quote. Search us on Facebook and like us as well. Mention Fourever Rivals or the Jumper Punch, and we are certainly still offering a 10% discount. You'd be quite surprised how much you can save. But, yeah, again, most importantly, protect your home and your family. Give us a call, 83394848. Good time to buy this time of the year, financial year.
Fantastic. And we do thank you, Marco, for sponsoring the Fourever Rivals, mate. And as I've always said, mate, give the local businesses the business. That's it. So what do we got here? Let's get to.
Hey, well done there, Rocco. You really made it a top-notch little tune for Court 10 and Court 10 sponsoring the Fourever
I'm telling you,
Rivals.
mate, you could put that on TV, mate. I'm telling you, it would be a winner. It's just like
Yeah,
I agree.
it's
Yep,
very
I
and
agree.
it's catching and a number. And now we've done the new design for you, man. It's all good. All right, let's
Appreciate
go. We
it,
got
Rob.
everyone in here. We got JS. What's he got to say?
I reckon we should drink to that. Cheers.
Don't make me take you off.
Cheers.
Hey, listen. We got thing, and we will be talking about that. I want to definitely talk about that. We got what's he saying? Unfortunately, Scott wanted Frank too easily to be sacked. No, I don't think he's going to get sacked. I think he's done a good job. I think it's just getting. I was actually going to ask Quinny a bit later. Is it resembling Richmond going a little bit too long with your players, and then they're just, like people like Hawkins, and there's a few others there. Before you know it, you're too far down the track. So we'll ask you that later. And what else? I just want to do. I forgot to show this last night. I promised Dean Richer that I was going to show. He has got a couple of frames he's got for sale that he wants to sell. They're authentic. One's the Team of the Century. The other one is the Carlton Collingwood 1970, signed by every player, umpires, coaches, and everyone. So he wants to sell them. If anyone is interested, just looking up, it is Dean Richer. Dean Richer. Dean Richer, or get a hold of us and I'll put you a hold of him. So that's it. And one more thing before we go on. I did forget. I was supposed to do like a million things last night and I forgot. So, but also want to thank Gab Rossi for the pizzas on our special night that we had last week. And I just wanted to mention his place. It's La Catina Pizza and Pasta in Bell Street, Heidelberg. Go down there. He'll fix you up, man. There's a massage parlor just next door. So he says there will be a special. There is a happy ending. And it's the stomach will be happy.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
It's all go pizza and happy ending.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. That's it. That's our special. That's our special night. Like we're going for pizza, guys. We're going for pizza.
Get a pizza with extra cheese.
Now we're going a bit
That's
too
shocking.
much, mate. Now we're going a bit too much. All right, listen to us. Let's do this. I think let's do this. All right. I think Marco has. Oh, there you are. You had frozen for a while. So what we're going to do is if anyone's got anything they want to talk about, put it in the chat. You can ask one of the rivals. But I want to start off with what have I got? All right, I'm going to start off with this, right? Because it's happened in our game, and it's annoyed me. And we had a debate about it last night, and I want to debate it again. And then it was the Cameron goal after the siren at halftime. Now, it didn't make a difference to the result, so I don't care. I'm not talking about result. But should that goal have been taken back? Because he played on after the siren, right? He played on after the siren. You could just see it. It was so obvious. He went off the mark by 3 meters. It wasn't his natural arc, because people say, oh, it's the Buddy Franklin kind of arc. But just remember, with the Buddy Franklin kind of arc, you didn't start on the mark. You would have to start a couple of meters away from the mark and then curve into the. You can't give yourself an advantage. So it wasn't that. He deliberately went on a different angle after the siren, right? And they awarded the goal. Fine, I don't care. But I believe they review goals. It was the end of the half. That goal should have been taken away. He illegally kicked the goal after the siren. He wasn't in play. I don't understand it. What do you guys think?
I don't think it should have been. I agree with you. Sorry, Mark. Go.
No, go for it, mate. Yeah, go.
No, I was going to say, I think I definitely wasn't or shouldn't have been a goal. You even saw the umpire stick his hands up and scream play on. The fact that he did that.
Wasn't. Apparently, they came out and said he called time. He didn't call play on. Yeah, I know, and I think that was shifty because you could see him go play on, but they're saying now that was time. But regardless if it was time or play on, even if he calls time and then you veer off the line, mate, that's play on. It's done. It's like the boundary. If you veer off when you're out the boundary, if you run along the boundary, it's out. You know, they take the ball back. Why couldn't they take that goal back? I don't understand, mate. It just doesn't make sense to me.
I think we're just heading into dangerous territory when you start having umpiring decisions come into and you start goal reviewing umpiring decisions. Like you could almost say the same thing if, I don't know, if someone has a shot on goal and as they get tackled, you know, they fend someone off to the face. The umpire doesn't see it, the ball goes through for a goal, and then they do the review and go, oh, no, it was a high fend off. That goal shouldn't have been allowed. I just think it's – pardon?
But that's in play while the quarter's going. The quarter was done. I'm not talking about reviewing during the game. Leave that. But this is cut. Yeah. This is easy. This is easy. After the siren, right? It's like if he has a kick after the siren. Like why can't they review the goal? It's not going to take. They're not wasting any time. They're not wasting any time because it's halftime. The goal, it doesn't matter if they give it to them or they take it away. It doesn't matter. It's got nothing to do with the rest of the play. It doesn't change anything. But I don't know. To me, like, I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Is it because, and this is where and I agree with you, Rock. Like, I'm with you on that. It definitely was play on. There's no arguments whatsoever there. Is the issue, I think, is calling play on is an umpiring. I know it was after the play, it was after the siren, but calling play on is up to the umpire. It's not a goal umpire decision to make. I just think it's, as much as it sucks, I think it's almost just, well, that's the umpire didn't pay it. He was right there. He couldn't have been any closer. It's just too bad. I think it's just dangerous territory. That's all.
You know what's funny? And Rocco says this. Normally there's an umpire standing behind the kicker when the kick. You know what I noticed? I think it was the Essendon game, right? They were having a kick. I might have been the Essendon. I can't remember. The umpire ran behind the player, the other umpire, to stand behind him. And this was after our incident. I reckon they would talk to about that. You know what I mean? So they knew they made a mistake. I know what you're saying. It opens up a can of worms. After the siren, mate. It's you played on after the siren. How can that be legal? It's like if you take a mark after the siren, you know what I mean? Or take a kick after the siren.
Yeah. I know what you mean. I just think calling play on is up to the umpire's discretion. If you bring it up and go to the rooms, then all of a sudden it's the match. Then it's the ARC's decision is now an in-play decision. So I know what you're saying. I agree with you. I agree, but I don't agree at the same time, if that makes sense. Because what you're saying is logical and it makes sense. I think it's the whole can of worms.
If you do something after the siren, they can quickly look at it. They're not wasting any time. I'm talking about a goal. I'm not talking about it has to be like a score. You know what I mean? And you know the funny thing, McGovern was standing on the mark and he didn't move. And as he's running, he's going, what's he doing, mate? Like he's running 2 meters away from me, right? That's play on. And the umpire just went like, oh, I understand. What do you understand? Like, I don't know. It was a weird one. It was a weird one. I reckon they'll get onto it now. But to me, if something happens after the siren, man, it should be fixed. They can fix it. It's an easy fix, man.
What do you boys think?
Yeah, I know. Last night I said after the siren about like 20, 30 times, mate. Like I kept saying to Paul, he kept saying what you were saying. And I kept saying, but I'm not talking about during the game. I'm just talking after the siren. They can look at it and they can say, no, he was wrong. He played on there, mate.
You know, like Quinn was saying, at the end of the day, it's the umpire's decision and it wasn't play on. So, you know, obviously Cameron, you know, moved away we're talking about 2 or 3 meters away from the mark. We're getting too technical Well, it makes a difference when you're kicking the ball 15 meters to somebody. It could be 13 meters or 15 meters or 16 meters.
It was a lot. I'm telling you, he moved 2 meters.
Well, it was only a couple of meters.
He opened up the angle by 2 meters.
How many times have players taken a mark on the siren and they've slightly moved away of the boundary and that? You get this swinging motion and they kick a goal. And people say, oh, that's play on. So the umpire would have made the wrong decision. He should have called play on, but he didn't. And it was a goal. So we just move on. And that's the umpire's, again, decision of making those, difficult decisions on a game of football where that can cost. Imagine it was on the fourth quarter. What would happen then?
That's what I'm saying. Like it was an illegal kick at the end of the day. It wasn't legal.
But the umpires made that decision to not play on.
They didn't make that decision. They actually didn't make the decision. That's the problem.
Should have made the decision after he kicked the goal. So he should have gone to like a score review.
Oh, well,
is that what you're saying?
In actual fact, as soon as he ran off the mark, the umpire should have said, "That's it, done."
So should have gone to a score review.
You can't play on after the siren mark. You can't play on after the siren.
But he slightly did. He slightly, there's
2 meters, Mark. It doesn't matter if it's slightly. You can't go off the mark, especially a kicking after the siren. You cannot do it. You cannot do it.
A lot of players have done it. A lot of players have done it the last few years on the siren. That they've swayed across, like Buddy Franklin. So he's got the right now.
No, he doesn't, because Buddy Franklin starts away from the mark.
Doesn't matter, but he was allowed to. He was allowed to take the mark.
No, you're wrong, because it's like the around the house kick, right? When you kick on the boundary, you can take an arc of 20 meters if you want, right? There's no rule. As soon as you pass the mark, it's play on. Yeah. So you can go 5 meters that way and then do your arc. That's not play on, because
Cameron should have.
He started there and then just went off.
So he should have moved in 2 or 3 meters. Is that what you're trying to say?
No, well, he should have kicked over the mark.
But he should have moved.
He didn't have an arc. Cameron didn't do an arc. Cameron just went that way.
Well, that's the umpire to say then. No,
I know it was a mistake. It was a mistake. They're saying it's not, but it was a mistake. But anyway, my thing is that they change everything else. I don't understand how they can't just say after the siren, that's it. We can make a decision that was illegal, but they're not going to say it.
I think Jai in this last comments made a good point here as well. He's brought up the Jack Rewalt goal from a few years ago, and he'll know what I'm talking about. But for those that don't, it was made a bit popular because Jack actually said to the umpire, "I'm going to kick a torp," and the umpire goes, "All right, good luck. Don't give a shit. Do whatever you want." But he explained to Jack. He said, "You can run off your mark, but you have to end back up on it. So if you want that arc, you can get it, but when you kick the ball, you must be on that mark. So you can slightly divert, but you have to come back." Cameron was not even close to coming back. He just swung and just kept, like you said, he just kept going. He just took off. So I think that's the big difference in the Jack Rewalt one and what happened there is Jack came back around onto the mark and kicked over the top.
Yeah, so if you kick over, it's all right. As I said, you can take the arc as long as you kick over the mark, And as soon as you go past that, then it's play on. He definitely played on. Trust me, there's nothing you can do about it. It's done. It was just interesting. It was just interesting. What happens if that happens in a grand final now?
Yeah.
The biggest problem we've got is that the umpires at the moment are the only ones that are hitting 100% strike rate. Yeah? On two things. Inconsistency, right? And they haven't got the balls to point out when it's time to make the serious call, when they have to. For some unknown reason, it's like they've been told, right? When it comes to that last minute of play or whatever, it's like they're completely oblivious to anything. Yeah? And you've seen that with Draper when he fell in front of that ball that day against whoever, I think against Adelaide, was it? Or Port Adelaide? Anyway, but we're going to talk about that one a little bit later on our next part of the conversation. But I think that we're sitting there saying all the time, the umpires, the umpires are being guided or instructed by the AFL. Now, you'd be damned if you do, you'd be damned if you don't. But you're right, Rocco. What they should do is the moment you want to come around the bend, you want to do a 360, that's fine. Make sure you've measured yourself enough time behind where the kick's meant to be able to make that kick over the mark. You know what I mean? But
Josh makes a point. If that was the winning goal, I guarantee there'd be fucking shit talk now, mate. If that was the winning goal, they would be talking about it. The other thing is, this to me is a simple fix, man. As soon as he ran off, he's kicked the goal. The umpire should have said, time, wait a sec, because the score hasn't been given yet. Wait a sec. Let's have a look. Yeah, he ran off the mark. That's play on. You can't play on after the siren. Done. It would have been easy fix. And I think everyone would have been happy with that. If they had done that, everyone would have been completely happy with that. They would have said,
but
he ran off the mark.
But would that open up a can of worms, Rocco? Because then they can turn around and say, they can turn around and say, well, hang on. Oh, you're telling me because it's after the siren you can review it. Well, while you're running the ball down to the middle of the ground, that gives you enough time to review another one. Because they did that last time.
They do that, but Manny, they review every goal after it's kicked.
Yeah, I'm aware of that. But what I'm saying is that, because there's so much inconsistency with the umpires, right? It's getting to a point now where I reckon even those who do the reviews probably have got different rules to what the umpires, it just doesn't make sense.
Simple, man. It was after the siren.
I agree. It is simple. But the facts are that even simple things like that, the umpires
like any other goal. It's not. I don't get how hard this is. It's like reviewing any goal.
I understand.
It's like reviewing any goal. They review every goal. Why couldn't they review that and say it was played?
All four of us for the first time are agreeing. They got it
wrong. They got it wrong, and they should admit
it wrong. Well, that's the problem. They keep getting it wrong. And it's just always. And it's, as one of the viewers said, it's the umpires that are really, really controlling this game, and they're controlling it the wrong way. They are. They've just, I don't know. I think umpires 20 years ago, right? And that would be for someone like Rocco and Mark. I mean, Quinn was only a young tacker. But 20 years ago, I don't know, but the umpires were tougher. The decision making was more accurate, and it was simple as that. Nowadays they're just too scared to make a decision. They're just too scared. I
don't know. I don't think they were scared of making a decision. I just don't think they got that one right, and that was it. Anyway, listen, Jason Prime, the one that dressed up and paints themselves as a cat. I had a big rant about him last night. And I'm gonna, if everyone waits to the end, I've got a bit of a rant about Catman. Right? About Catman, mate. I'm gonna give him something to think about. So if everyone waits, hey?
Is he a friend of yours, Rocco?
No. He's in the Geelong cheer squad, the one that dresses himself like a cat and purrs and does all that shit. And then he said something. He said something yesterday that's got on my nerves now, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go back.
Wow.
I hope it is you, rat poison, but I'm going to give it to you I gave it to him yesterday because he acted like a little pussy in the cheer squad, right? But and then he said a few things, and wait till I have my thing. But anyway, let's move on. Stephen May.
Hey, before you say anything there, Rocco, I might send a new Uber vehicle across to your place. Get someone to give you a big hug, mate, because you sound really distraught. Come into this show the next day being bothered by a cat. So it's interesting. But we'll look forward to what you're going to say later on.
Do you know what he said and did?
No, I'm looking forward to it. I want the surprise.
I'll use my favourite word, Manny. Shut up. If you don't know what he said, what do you mean I'm getting upset? If you don't know what he said,
I'm on your side here.
You know what? I'm going to come. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to offend you and your family, and then we'll see how upset you get. What's that noise?
That's every time you say something that is out of line. That's our new buzzer. We've all got three. We've all got our own buzzer now.
All right.
So every
this
time
is
you
my
say
rule
something,
now. Every time I hear that buzzer, I'm going to do this for 30 seconds. Did you hear that? So every time I hear that buzzer, I'm going to count down fucking 30 seconds and you're going off.
yeah, but you got the wrong person here.
I don't care. I'm going to do it to you now because you were the smart ass.
Okay.
See what happens?
Do it again,
You know
Mark.
what it's like, remember when your dad and all the kids played up and everyone just copped the beating? He didn't care who did it. That's what I'm doing.
I never grew up in that environment, Rocco, so I can't.
Well, you know what? Maybe you should have because you would have probably turned out better. Stephen May.
Cats. Speaking of cats, bloody hell. They're just taking advantage of the rules now. Like, I mean, we knew players were doing it. We knew players were deliberately aiming for the ground with their head to try and get these free kicks. But, geez, the fact that he went to ground and then half a second later goes, oop, and then started going like that. He should be fined or suspended or something. I reckon a fine.
Apparently he got fined.
He got fined $1,800. Yeah. I don't think it's a suspension, but I think the fine is fair enough because that was so obvious. That was so obvious.
Well, let me ask you another question. Right? Okay. So Stephen May, at the moment he's been in the spotlight.
Yes, he is. Just before you keep going, yes, he is. He's the dickhead that ate the cat food on TikTok.
All right.
I got to see that. What the fuck?
He ate and he's spewing up. He ate 2 cans of cat food and he was putting them on. I'm telling you.
Okay.
Yeah, so he was fined. He was fined $1,850 or something.
All right. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question, right? Now, Stephen May, he's been in the limelight for the last 4 or 5 weeks for all different reasons and just the way he is. But let me ask you a question here. Now, he got fined $1,800 because he faked the fact that he hurt his head, etc., etc. And, even my grandmother who can't see said he didn't hit his head on the ground. Now, what's the difference between, because I find it more insulting what Draper did after the game. He's walking to the dressing rooms and he turns around and he says to his mates, hey, I fooled the umpires because I pretended I dived on the ball. Now, why didn't he get fined? Because as far as I'm concerned, Draper looks like a bigger dickhead. I mean, May is already a dickhead, but Draper looks like a bigger dickhead, right? And I can tell you right now, he should have been fined. He should have been fined heavy. And you can stick up for him if you want, Mark, but I can tell you right now, next year he's out of contract. So what are you sticking up for? Sticking up for because he's your player right now.
Draper's got nothing to do with concussion. It's got nothing to do with the interpretation of concussion.
Well, hang on, don't worry about the interpretation. We know it's all about
that was just a holding the ball decision
staging.
That the umpire got wrong.
Staging.
It's got nothing to do with faking of smashing your head against the ground. Some players are starting to do.
We're talking about staging.
Some players are starting to stage. They're staging to get hit on the ground, their head concussion, right? Yeah. And they're playing for the free kick. That's what's happening. And I mentioned this about 10 weeks ago on the show. Oh, you can stage it, mate. Well, Steve May did. He staged it, and he got a free kick out of it. Obviously, you got a fine. But at the end of the day, mate, this is what it's coming to. Players are starting to take advantage of, staging for free kicks. But I think it's getting to a stage where they're staging for free kicks. Not if it's pushing it back, not if they're getting held. They're staging for free kicks about their head high tackle or their head high. What about
shouldn't Quainer should be fined then?
Yep, he should have been fined. But the difference is that what Draper did, right? I reckon he's one of the biggest dickheads I've ever met in footy, and he plays for a shit team.
Even know him.
Now
Draper.
Draper, you know what the problem, the difference is? Draper staged that, and I can tell you right now, and all right, and the reality is that had that been a free kick, the Bombers would have lost that game. You wouldn't be sitting where you're sitting right now.
It wasn't a free kick, so we move on. But that's just a blatant on the ball.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's certain staging that can cause, all right, that can make a difference. All right, and that's the difference. Okay, so let's call a spade, mate. It doesn't matter what you stage. A stage is a stage. Yeah.
So then obviously Stephen May staged a free kick towards the umpires by making sure that he's
that resulted in a goal too. You know, that resulted in a goal too. You know?
So that was the difference between it, Manny. So now all of a sudden, the umpires and whatever the situation is, are going to start going against Stephen May and the Melbourne Football Club. Look,
no, they're going to go against players. They're going to go against players who truly do get hurt. That's what's going to happen, because they're going to.
That's my point. That's exactly my point, Manny. We're talking about players that do actually get hurt. It's not about jumping on the ball and playing for a free kick. It's about players that are acting that get smashed on their head on the ground and they're not actually being hit on the ground. So that's the difference between the whole lot.
But a staging is a staging. Full stop.
What do you reckon, Gwenny?
Oh, I agree. I think no matter what type of decision it is or what type of staging it is, I think Manny said is spot on. Staging is staging, but to Mark's point as well, it's just gonna become the boy who cry wolf. Like Mark said, people are gonna fake these head injuries and go down and go, oh, my head. Players that actually go down, people are just gonna start brushing it off again. And we're trying to make head contact a serious thing in this sport, and I think we're definitely going about it the right way. But if people start faking head injuries and all that, then you're not going to believe anyone. Now, I'm not a big soccer man myself. I just get around the big tournaments. I've been waking up for the Euros this last week and a half.
What a goal. What a goal.
Mate.
Viva Italia! Viva Italia!
What a goal, man. I'm telling
you. Mate.
To put yourself into the next stage with that sort of goal with the last ticket, mate, that's as good as I've seen, mate.
It was 20 seconds to go and he's knuckled that shot. I couldn't believe it. I was going nuts.
Top corner, man. That fucking mate, that was unbelievable.
Hey,
mate,
listen, can I also just say one thing before we get off this subject? And I was glad to see Italy win. I was really, really happy to see Italy win. Now, you know what's really, really interesting, and I just had someone text me to bring this up, right? Talk about adding insult to injury. Yeah. Melbourne had one of their best retire because of injuries, head injuries. Yeah. And then you got May, who sits there and puts on an act, right? Right? I mean, how bad does that look? Tell me. Tell me how bad that looks, Marco.
It's not a bad point. It means like he doesn't really give a fuck, does he?
That's right. That's
right. That's how it looks. And
every man for themselves.
Yeah. I was going to say that's how it looks. And the reason I brought up the soccer was I was saying you're watching those games, like you see that many blokes. Someone put it in the comments as well. You see that many blokes go down going, oh, my shin, oh, my ankle. You just start looking at it and going, oh, yeah, they're full of shit. They'll be up in 20 seconds running like nothing happened. But then the ones that actually do get injured, you don't believe them. And you think they're just carrying on. And it's going to start, if we start going down this path, it's going to start getting like that now where people start going, no, he's fine. He'll be all right. His head's okay. He's just milking it. It's going to happen.
And we don't, at the end of the day, I've heard the argument of people go like, oh, they do it in soccer. But it's like, it's embedded in soccer for the last 150 years. It's the way they play their game. We don't do that. We're tougher here in Australia. AFL is tougher. We've never faked injuries. Man, in the old days, mate, if you got hit, you wouldn't even rub it. right? Because you didn't want them to see you that you got hurt. And now, what are we going to turn into? Are we going to turn into this where we don't want that to happen? I don't want that to happen in AFL where we pretend that we're getting injuries just for a free kick. I don't want our game to turn into that. Soccer's different. It's like you almost expect it in soccer, right? They applaud it, actually. I don't want that. Why does that have to come into our game now?
Yeah.
You know, it's
you only fake it if you want to make sure that you play your 100th on your turf.
Is
that fair to say that? Yeah, or 200th. What was it, or 150th? What was it that one of the Carlton players? Who was it?
Yeah, Chris too. When he said he was injured and he couldn't play.
That's right. So sometimes it's okay to fake an injury.
Yeah, but he didn't do that. He didn't do that to get a free kick.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying.
He just said he wasn't right to play the next week. You know, which is.
Yeah. I'm not saying in a bad way.
But like you said as well, it's a different game. Like you kind of expect that with soccer. We're still a tough game. Like you look at blokes like Petrarca only a few weeks ago. You know, broken ribs, punctured spleen. He was bleeding out, and he was on the ground still trying to play. Our players, 90% of them are so different. But it's just little incidences like this where it starts to creep in, and you just think it's a dangerous slope if they start getting away with it early. I think if you can nip it in the bud now before it's a problem, it won't take off. But that's up to the AFL and it's up to the umpires to be on top of that now.
Yeah, I personally, I don't want to see that, man. I've even said, like, I even hate when they throw the head back, you know, a little bit to get, and the player's not even near them. You know what I mean? Like, to me, I don't like it. Don't get me wrong. I've seen our players do it too. They throw their head back, you know. But you got to be careful because it'll get to a stage where it's going to become ridiculous, man. So let's just look. I don't think he should get suspended. He didn't get suspended. I think a fine, but I think it'll stop everyone doing it a little bit now. You know what I mean? So, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing, mate. Everyone says tradition about our game. Don't change this. Don't take that out of our fucking game, mate. Don't take the toughness out of our game, mate. That's what we are, mate. Like, mate, you start taking that out, and you start. At the end of the day, it's going to be like a completely different game. We're not even gonna understand anymore. That's one of the things. Don't get me wrong. We've got to protect the head. I do understand that it can't be what it was in the 80s, but we can't take away all those elements. Let's be serious. All right, next one. I brought this one up for no other reason is the sub in your team. Should they just take out the fucking sub and make it 5 players? You're right on your bench. Where are you going? That's my question. I know what they did with the sub. The sub was so that if you get an injury, it doesn't disadvantage the other side. I do understand that, right? But if you got if you got 5 players on the bench, man, it's not going to disadvantage your team anyway, man. Seriously, if you can't handle it with 4 or 5 players, I just don't like it, man. You get a player come on for like 10 minutes. He doesn't play in the reserve. He doesn't play for the whole week. He comes in, he plays for 10 minutes. Sometimes they're a sub 4 or 5 weeks in a row, mate. Like, really? Like, to me, I think it's done, mate. Just take out this stupid sub rule.
What if they change the rule, Rock, and mate? And this is just a devil's advocate type thing. I'm not saying I agree with this, but what if they change the rule where it's only subs if there's an injury? You can't sub tactically.
But wasn't that before? But that was before.
Was that the one with the vest?
Yes, you could only do an injury, right? It was only if you had an injured player, but then you just fake an injury. Oh, I got a bit of a sore fucking thing, and you get off. You know what I mean? Like the teams, and that's why then they changed it to a tactical, right? Yeah. I think that anyway. What do you reckon, Manny? To me, I don't like it. I don't like this tactical. I don't like players coming on for like 10 minutes. It does nothing for the play. I'll give you, for example, us. we've been putting Corey Durden as a sub, right? I said this last night. If Corey Durden isn't good enough to make the 22, right, he doesn't play. He's no good, mate. He's no good. And then to bring him on the last 10 minutes, it does nothing for him. He plays a small forward role. It's already hard enough to play the small forward role. You only get 6 or 7 possessions in a game as a small forward. If you're lucky, you'll kick 2 or 3 goals, right? They bring him in as a sub. He gets 1 possession, right? And then he gets like berated for the rest of the week because you're shit. Well, he's only on there for 10 minutes. What do you want the kid to do? You know what I mean? So I don't like it. Just get rid of it. Put 5 on the bench. And that's it, mate. And just rotate them, mate. Just rotate them, you know?
Yeah, I agree. And it's about knowing that this is the 22 or 23 players that are on the field for the day, right? These are the players that you're going to be utilizing, turning them around, whatever the way you run the system, and it's simple as that, right? Rather than having to sit there and
I'd even be happy with 6 on the bench. I'll tell you the truth, man. What's the difference, mate?
Yeah.
Get players on there, man. Rotate the thing. What are they worried about? He's going to get faster. What are they worried about, mate? Like,
yeah, no, that's the point, Rocco. That's the point. And the thing is, I mentioned this about 10 weeks ago, and sometimes when I tend to mention things, no one listens to me. But yeah, about 10 weeks ago, I said, get rid of the sub, right? Get rid of the sub, right? Have 5 players on the bench, but limit the actual interchange. Okay. Then you'll start getting some of your good players towards the end of the game, your best players out there fighting it towards the end of the game. Don't rotate too much. It's too fast, the game. Slow it down a little bit. Get your best players out there towards the end of the game. Tire them out, and you'll see more goals scored and so forth. I mentioned this about 10 weeks ago. Get rid of this fastness of the game because it's causing a lot of injuries to a lot of players. Slow it down a little bit, and you'll start seeing the results of these players. Your good players still playing towards the end of the quarters, and you'll see more results, a better results. So, 5 on the bench, just slow it down in the interchange rotation. That's my key, and I think you will start seeing a little bit more openness to the game towards the end of the quarters.
Quinny?
Interesting.
I don't hate it either way, to be completely honest with you. I'm a little bit on the fence with this one. I don't mind. I don't hate the sub enough to really push for it, but I also wouldn't care if they got rid of it and they did just have the 5 on the bench and we just played the way we did. Like Tony's just said, if your ruckman gets injured, but you got a small forward as the sub, well, then that's no good anyway. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind it if they did get rid of it.
Yeah, and the other thing is sometimes they go, so just say you got to bring in a player that's been injured and then they want to give him some limited time, yeah? So they think, we'll bring him in as a sub, yeah? And then you get a player injured in the first minute of the game. Then he's got to play the whole bloody game. Is he ready for it? To me, it's just a ridiculous. And I'm telling you, it's not doing these kids any favors by bringing them in for a quarter or bringing them in for 10 minutes. It's not doing them in. There was a guy from, was it the guy from Melbourne? I think he put on the tackle at the end, like he came on the last 10 minutes and I think that's the only thing he did. But is that it? Is that your whole game? You ran once, imagine your first game is like 10 minutes and you get like 1 possession. That's your first ever game. Like, really? Is that, oh man, I don't like it.
Well, that's what I was going to touch on. I said it does. Getting rid of the sub definitely gets rid of bringing these kids in, debuting them as the sub. And I've been a big advocate for getting rid of that. Like, if the kid's not ready, don't play him. Don't play him as a sub and have him come on for half a quarter. So if we get rid of subs, it solves that problem as well. So that's one of the reasons I'm all for it.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they do something about it this week. To me, not this week, sorry, this year at the end of the year, well, knowing the AFL, they might do it mid-year. They've decided they can change rules whenever they want. But You can't do nothing after the siren, apparently. All right, so that they can do. So so that's one thing. We've got a few things here. We'll put up some comments. What's this one say? How much buys will their best will be to top 6 instead of top 8? He's saying that once the 19 team, should there be a top 6 or top 8? That's never going to happen, man. If anything, they'll go to top 10. I'm telling you, because they want more finals. They don't want less finals. You know what I mean? Imagine only having a top 6 and that what? They're the games they make money on, mate. Like, there's no chance they want. And then what happens too, if you got a top 6, the bottom 4 or 5 sides, what? By now, it's all over for them. They've got no chance of making it, right? They start to lose interest. They start to like rest players, tanking, all that shit happens. You've got to keep teams interested, having a chance of making those finals, mate. You have to.
I agree with you, Rocco, and I don't think I honestly don't think 19 teams. I don't think 19. Well, I'm agreeing with you because you've got a little bit of logic here today. I think 19 teams is not going to work for the AFL.
No, they'll do 20. Well, they'll do 20.
Either I reckon, and don't quote me on this, but I reckon they're going to do a little bit of a cleanup.
No, they won't. It'll never happen.
And well, you say it'll never happen, but you just don't know, because I reckon the AFL is going to turn around and say, you know what, maybe we can maybe we can move this team North Melbourne and maybe join them with the tree huggers, and all of a sudden, before you know it, we're back to 18 teams.
They won't do it, man.
You know what? Maybe they won't. Maybe they will. I just
those days are over. Getting rid of Fitzroy, right? They know that was one of the biggest mistakes they ever did.
Really?
Yeah. You got rid of one of the base clubs, 100-year, and you don't think Fitzroy would have been all right now? Carlton almost had a worse record than them at one stage. And there's a North Melbourne have got almost a worse record than them. Why aren't they getting rid of I don't think that was a good idea to do that. I don't think it was a good idea to do that. I don't think anything can happen, but to me, I don't think it'll ever happen.
Yeah, but you say that because you've always had a soft spot for Fitzroy.
No, I say that because I disagree that they should get rid of it. Why should they get rid of a team?
Yeah.
Well, if the team
they can afford it, they can afford to keep it.
But it's a
But
business.
what do you mean? They top up the interstate sides every year, Manny.
Yeah, I understand that.
Year. So why would they get rid of one of the fucking foundation sides? They won't do it, man.
I don't know.
No chance.
Well, with the AFL, you never be surprised. I mean, look at the Swans. Do you think that the Sydney? You think that South Melbourne should have been moved to Sydney?
No.
But look how successful they are now.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. They're still not South Melbourne anymore. They're done. And I look at people that barry for Fitzroy and now barry for. You don't really barry for the Brisbane Lions anymore. Let's be honest. If I'll give it to one of you guys, if we just say it's fucking Tassie, the Tassie Tiger, Richmond fucking, are you really going to be passionate about them anymore? You can't be, man. No. You can't be, man. What about you over there, Marco, with that stupid face? Imagine they turned bloody Essendon into the Essendon
Blues. The Essendon Blues.
Not the Essendon Blue, but the Essendon Tasmanian Bombers.
Yeah.
I'd follow them, but I wouldn't support them.
Oh no, if they go down there,
you would quietly follow them, but passion would be there, mate.
No, it'd be gone. Yeah, I'm not going to understand that.
The Essendon tree huggers. That's what it'd be. The tree huggers, or the Essendon tree loggers, something like that.
I reckon it'd be something like the Essendon Scarface.
Yeah, or the Essendon Junkies. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah, that could work. That could work.
That's all right. There's plenty of
Essendon
money in
should be
drugs,
moved to
mate.
Richmond with the safe injecting room.
Plenty of money in drugs, mate. Plenty of money in drugs.
yeah,
Wow.
no, he's right. They became South Melbourne relocated to Sydney Swans, and then Fitzroy merged with Brisbane, and then become the Brisbane Lions, and the Bears disappeared. Yeah, but it's true, the Bears, and then they gave it the Lions name, but really it's Brisbane now. When you say, you go Brisbane. You don't say Brisbane. Who are you playing? Brisbane. You're like, it's done, mate. It's done. All right. Anything else? What do we got? Oh, maybe got a few more minutes. Is there anything else anyone wants to talk about before we go?
What about the Dangerfield? Did he get off the 1 week?
Yep.
We're talking about that, or is that reasonable or not? Or yes,
I think it's reasonable, and not because they're playing you guys. I don't think that was a free kick, and that's it. I don't think that was deserved a week. Like,
no, really.
Walsh played on, mate. He played on, almost was best on ground. He played on immediately. He played on immediately. He got up. He actually didn't even rub his head.
Yeah.
He didn't rub his head. So how did Walsh's head like bounce 10 inches off the ground? How does have you got a replay of that? You should have put the replay on tonight. His head smashed the ground and it bounced off about 10 inches off the ground, mate. How does that work?
He wasn't affected.
Oh no, he's not affected, is he? But if he had been knocked out, he would have been affected,
and then you get suspended.
Okay, so Dangerfield.
You know what it's like, Mark. I know what you're going to say. You know what it's like. I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example. You go, right, and you go to kill someone, and you don't kill them, right? It's not murder. You don't go for murder. Right, and this is the same. If you go to tackle and they don't get hurt, how can you? Well, let me talk, Mark. If you go to tackle them and they don't get hurt, how can you give them a full-on penalty?
No, Rock. At the end of the day, that could be increasing his potential down the track as an older person. It might not be concussed, but it might affect his life down the track.
They would have done a concussion test, and
just because he wasn't getting knocked out, just because. Sorry?
That's all you can do. You can do a concussion test, right? Right?
Yeah.
And that's all you can do. You can't go further than that and say, in 20 years now, you can't do that. Well, they've done their test.
The player's got a hard head, mate. And
I feel that Essendon I think Essendon might be in danger because look out. Here comes danger.
Don't worry about that. We'll talk about that.
It's more the fact is the guy has pinned him both arms, mate. He dragged him to the ground. He was taking precaution of not whacking his head. So how did that head hit the canvas and bounce off 10 inches off the ground? How does that happen, mate?
10 inches is that high, so that definitely didn't happen. You're exaggerating.
Have a look at the replay.
You're exaggerating,
mate. Rock, have a look at the replay. His head smashed the ground and bounced off. Right. So there's one or two things
that break kick, and that's it, mate.
So one or two things here is the player now, like you were saying, is intentionally looking for a free kick. So he's driven himself forward to hit himself like May in a way against the ground.
You just said that Dangerfield. You just said Dangerfield pinned his arms and dragged him to the ground, and now you're saying did he intentionally do it?
Correct, but he got off that. Dangerfield got off him, like dragging him to the ground. So where was that hit come from? Where did that hit come from? If you have a look at the replay, Walsh's head, mate, honestly, severely hit the ground, mate.
Hey, Mark, can I think that sometimes what happens is
in the future.
That's the way the rules go, Mark. You know that if a player gets injured, the penalties are more. You know that.
So you needed Walsh. You needed Walsh to be knocked out. That's the key, is it?
Not just Walsh, any player, Mark. You know that's the rule. What are you doing?
Well, I'm just talking about that instant. So Walsh, really, the way he hit the ground, he should have been knocked out, mate. He should have
But he
been knocked
wasn't.
out.
So it wasn't
He wasn't.
that hard.
Correct.
But it wasn't that hard.
But because he wasn't knocked out, Dangerfield gets off.
Yes. What don't you understand about that?
Well, that's
that
not
makes sense.
acceptable to me, mate.
Yeah, but Mark, you know what though, Mark? If you ever look at players, that end up getting hit, they end up hitting their head on the ground, right? You'll find that 90% of those players are saying, "Oh, no, I'm okay. Let me play. I'm okay." It's only when you see where they're completely, dazed, they don't know where they are, right? That you can't do anything about it. But as Rocco said, I keep agreeing with him that he's maybe a man of wisdom. But the reality is, if the player has not hurt himself, regardless of what the tackle looks like, the tackle may look bad, but the fact that he hasn't hurt himself, what are you going to say? All right, look,
How do you know that, Manny? How do you know that player, just because he hasn't been knocked out, doesn't mean he's concussed, right? It's a duty of care to the player. The player has had his head whacked on the ground. He doesn't have to be knocked out. He does not have to be knocked out to be concussed.
But he wasn't concussed.
What happened to Schultz?
That can affect the
Schultz
a couple of weeks ago.
He wasn't concussed
a couple of weeks ago. It looked like it was bad. He was injured. They called him in. The doctor said
he wasn't concussed. You know what it's like? It's like when your shit player there, your fucking 2-meter Peter, ran into the fucking player, right? If you knock him out, right, if you get more weeks, it's full stop. It's full stop. You can do the motion. You can bump. Wait, listen, Mark. You can bump someone. You're allowed to bump someone.
Yeah.
Right? So, but if you get him in the head, you get either a free kick or it depends on how bad it is. You can tackle someone, right? You can tackle them. But if they don't have, if he doesn't get concussed or he keeps on playing, the penalty's not going to be high. You know that. Why are we even arguing that? I'll tell you one thing about this argument. Now, listen to me for a second. Listen to me for a second. I guarantee you stand out like dog's balls because the only reason you bring this up, right, is because Dangerfield is playing against Essendon this week. 100%. 100%, Mark.
Good enough for the door for mate. It's got
enough for 100%.
It's 100%.
Actually, it's not even 100%. That's why you brought it up.
No, hang on.
It's one of two things. Dangerfield caused danger to the player, or Walsh should get fined for deliberately faking his injury.
He didn't fake no injury. He got up. He didn't fake anything. He didn't even touch his head.
He intended to go for a free kick.
Hey, Rocco.
How can he be fined when he didn't stage anything? What are you talking about?
No, Mark was right. Walsh,
how did his head end up like that, mate? How did his head
shut up? He what, man?
Well, Mark was saying that at the end of the day, he didn't get injured.
There was no two. If you look at it, there was no two motions. Stephen May, there was two motions. He went bang and then he went like that. There was none of that in Walsh's movement.
Staging for a free kick.
But there was none of that in his movement.
Staging for a free kick.
You're only saying that because you're scared of danger this week. That's the only reason.
No. He was staging for a free kick.
You are exactly saying that. I want to hear what Quinny's got to say. You're only saying that because you're scared of danger. Because you actually, you picked, and I'll put it back up. You picked Geelong last week because your exact words were, right, danger's in, right, and I'm going for Geelong. You are scared of an old man. What have you got to say, Quinny?
If Danger has a good game, I can't wait for Danger to have a good game this week, Mark. And next week you'll come on and say he shouldn't have played. He should have been suspended.
Quinn,
It'll happen.
So
take it easy, mate.
Never have
Don't
brought
you start
this
on me
up.
now,
You
Quinny.
would never have brought
Don't you
this
start
up
on
if
me,
it
mate.
wasn't
I've got
Essendon.
plenty to say about Richmond, mate. I've got plenty to say
I know
about
you-
Richmond.
I know you do. That's why I'm going when I can. I'm going when I can. But just on this, I'll be quick because we can drag on as long as we want.
Yeah, let's go.
It's as simple as this. Look, I don't mind that he got off because of the way that it all played out, and Walsh obviously played the whole game. The only issue I have with it is I've always said this. I don't like the precedents that they've set where it's based on it's outcome based. So if he gets concussed, he would have gotten weeks. If he doesn't get concussed, I think it's going to be black and white. Whatever the action is should be suspended regardless of, if the player's injured or not.
Then you've got to change the rules.
Yeah, no, but I've said that all. Like, I don't like that. There's because I think if I'm with you, Mark, and we're on the ground, and I punch you and I kick you in the chin, but you're fine, and you just go, oh, and you walk off. But then next week I do the same thing and you get knocked out. That's the difference from me getting no weeks to me getting 9 weeks. Like, I just think the action should be suspended, not the thing. But in saying that, this motion here, because of the way the tackle was, he got up, played the whole game. I don't hate that he got off either.
Yeah,
Quinn,
yeah.
first and foremost, you got to think of it with common sense, right? So what Mark is saying, let's get Walsh to put on an act, right? Injure himself. Now, first and foremost, you've got a player at the moment who's at his peak, right? He's at his peak. First of all, he's a superstar, right, for the Carlton Football Club. Now, all of a sudden, if he was to fake it, what would happen? The doctors would have to get involved. What's he going to turn and say to the doctor? I faked it. He's not going to say that. All of a sudden, they're going to turn around and say, look, the concuss rule, he's going to have to miss out on a couple of weeks. Why would he want to miss out on a couple of weeks to lie, right, when, Carlton at the moment are peaking, right? They're at their best. And why would he do something like that when you've got someone like Dangerfield, who we all know, whether you like him or not, right? He's well respected by his peers and by the umpires. It's very simple. You know what I mean? And if you're going to start doing that, because Mark doesn't realise that once that siren goes, a lot of these players are mates outside of the ground. Outside of the game, they're actually mates.
Like that.
All right. So why would Walsh, who's a class act, do something like that?
Anyway, we got to move on because we can go on for ages. But the simple fact is this: you can say whatever you want, and Mark knows the rule because your 2 meter Peter copped the exact for that reason. You know the rule, right? You know the rule that if you get injured, the penalty is higher. That's it. Unless they change the rule, right? That's not going to change, right? But we know your agenda, Mark. We know your agenda. You're scared of Dangerfield. You're scared. You spuds are scared of Dangerfield, and that's the only reason you brought it up. Because you know why I say that, Mark? Because that's happened nearly every week. That's happened nearly every week, and you never mentioned one other player.
That's right.
Plenty of players, mate. I've told you that.
Why haven't you ever brought it up?
Because I don't want to get involved in it too much, but I reckon
but
about 10
tonight,
times ago, there's a lot of players now that are going to start staging.
It's going to be the first time they're going to play a team that's in the top 8. That's why. This is the first time they're going to play a team that's in the top 8.
No, it's a second time. It's the second time. You know what's funny? He just said that it's happened heaps of times and he's never mentioned it once. Soon as it involves his club, he talks about it.
No,
mate, I've always said that supporters are like their teams and you are scared of danger, mate. Let's move on.
He's cooked.
And in actual fact, I think that Hawkins and his career might be over. I think Hawkins going out is actually going to help him, and they're actually going to fucking hurt you this week. I reckon Hawkins going out is actually going to help him.
Can I just say that? Lewis just pointed out to me that Carlton and Essendon, Carlton was in the 8 when they both played, and I know what you're saying, Lewis. But my point is that every time the Bombers play a team that's in the top 8, you know what it is? I'll tell you what it is.
What they did add to their record.
Where are we sitting, mate? Where are we sitting? Where are you sitting?
Hey, you know what I love about this game?
Hey,
That
horses eat that, mate. I don't eat hay, mate. Horses eat hay.
Talk to me in 6 weeks. Talk to me in 6 weeks.
6 weeks is 6 weeks, mate.
And then we'll
6
see.
weeks is the future. I'm talking about right now, mate.
I'm going to give Essendon some credit here. They've just added to their record. They've just added to another bottom side. So now it's like 8 bottom sides they've beaten. So come on, we've got to give credit where credit is due.
No, fair enough.
All right, let's move on. Because I don't feel good. I got a fucking headache before I started. And then listening to Mark, it's fucking gone like tenfold, mate. So let's move on. Hey, they're asking Manny, do it.
You know what it sounds like? You know when you're trying to go to sleep in the summer and you can hear that little fucking mozzie in your ear? You can just hear
and you don't know where it is.
Yeah. And I might even start playing the trumpet.
Oh, that'd be something. Have you
got a joke for us at the end of the night, Manny?
What's that?
Have you got a joke for us at the end of the night?
Mate, I've got a ripper joke. What's
the segment going to be called? What's the segment going to be called?
Manny, make me laugh.
You just made me laugh.
I got to say, credit where credit's due, Manny. I told you this last Thursday night at footy training. It was my turn to tell the joke for the club, and I used one of your gags, and it got a great reaction. So you got a good record at the moment, so we'll keep it going.
So we'll see about the next one. Hey, listen, people ask and I deliver, mate. And people ask and I deliver. Let's have a look at this one here. Have I got it or did I take it out? I might have taken it out.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no. I know what it was as well.
No, he's put himself on the spot there.
I had a good one. No, I took it out. But, you know what? We can show them this one.
The marshmallow.
All right. That's thanks to Matula, our favourite Greek.
Thanks, Matula. Where's Matula? I haven't seen her tonight.
No, she's there, mate. She's there. Marco, you're not paying attention, mate.
I'm telling you, everyone wait for Catman. I'm going to give you the thing on Catman, mate. All right, let's go into the games. All right, so this week there was only 2 games. 2 winners. Actually, no losers this week. Queenie?
That's good. It was a great week. Yeah.
All right, let's have a look at this first one. 21-12, 138 to 11-9, 75. Dangerfield got absolutely, as we put in our little description last night, got catapulted back to Geelong. So there's not much, pretty much a complete performance. I don't know what else to say, mate. Did you watch the game, any of you?
Yeah,
I watched about halftime. And then you guys made it boring by kicking away too much, so I put a movie on. I could see where it was going. I thought, I know the result. I don't need to watch this.
I don't know.
Carlton's playing exciting footy at the moment. They are. They're playing
because I prepare myself. I did have some stats, but I want to show you the score cells because I like these stats. Right. The turnovers. We are 12-7, 79 from turnovers. That's huge. 50. I think it's the top in the league, you know. And from stoppages was 8-5, 53. And the other big one was the defensive half, 9-2, 56. centre bouncers, we always clean up there. So what I got to say about Carlton is they're learning. They learned from the last time they played Geelong, mate. That we got killed in the turnovers last time, and we turned that completely around, mate. So at the moment, we are winning. What's funny is we used to be a big clearance winning side. Then we turned into like a turnover side, and now we've put it all together, and we can win in many ways. We dominated their forwards. I mean, Cameron kicked 3. He did what he had to do. He kicked a late goal. Wiedering ended Hawkins' career. Maybe he only had 3 possessions, but Hawkins is Hawkins is a champion, mate. Hawkins is a champion, but he's getting to the end of his career, you know. Chincotta made Stewart look stupid. Keeps going on week by week, kicking goals, stopping the opponents. I mean, Paddy Cripps, 41 possessions. TDK is now ranked 3rd best player in the whole competition. Again, I think he got the biggest racking points of any player this year. He could be, to me, he's the All-Australian ruckman. He's absolutely dominating. And I think, to tell you the truth, I think that Scott got our coach, and I have to give Scott some praise. He actually said we are the best side he's played all year, and he gave us praise. Not many coaches do that.
Hey,
one more thing. I just want to say something. I think that Scott tried to be a little bit too smart, and they left out, I think it was who was their ruckman they left out, and they decided to put Sam DeConning into the ruck on him, and I think that was a big mistake, because that's really disrespectful to think that you can put a backman into a rucking position and think you're going to dominate. I know what he was trying to do. Brother maybe play on his mind a little bit, but let's be serious. TDK from the first bounce made him look silly, and once he kicked that first goal, and it was almost the passing of the guard there, the baton there, mate. He grabbed his brother, he pushed him out of the way and kicks it out to kick a goal to start proceedings. The wings care of their business, mate. Small forwards running hard. We're fit and healthy now.
Yeah. Oh, that's good. Nice. We've given you because you didn't play against him.
Wait. One more thing, Manny. One more thing. Wait. One more thing, or I'll take you off. The next time you say we gave you enough time, I'll take you off, because you give me nothing, Manny. This is my platform.
Last week,
nothing. I don't care. I run it.
But 2 weeks ago, you gave me a minute and a half, and you said to me,
I'll give you 30 seconds this time if you want.
You said to me it wasn't against a rival. You said to me it wasn't against a rival, right? And you took me off.
I don't care. I make my rules. Like the AFL, I decide what the rules are.
That's fine. I was going to ask you a question.
All right.
Now, with Carl at the moment peaking, right? Peking duck, they're doing really well. Question I have. Is there a couple of players that are coming out of contract at the end of this year?
Not at the end of this year, but I don't care. Why are we talking about contracts now?
Because look, I've got a few people that like to ask me questions, and I thought I asked you because you'd know. But
all right. So what's the specific question, Manny? Right. So we can move on.
One of the questions is Chincotta. Is he out of contract at the end of the year?
No,
he's not. Okay.
And I think he just re-signed. And I think Akers just re-signed. And I think Boyd just re-signed a couple of weeks ago. So they're all re-signing. So I don't understand I don't understand in round 15. I don't understand in round 15 why we're talking about out of contract players.
Because I'm saying, because when you're getting players that are playing in a team like Carlton this year at the moment, who's doing so well, right? Yeah. And the way they go at the moment, you'd be talking about grand final.
They're all on long-term contracts, Manny.
I know. What I'm just saying is, I'm just asking the question, Rocco.
No, but you're right. But you're not asking anything. All you're doing is you're putting it out there. I want to know who you're specifically talking about.
Well, somebody pointed out to me that Chinkota could be coming out of
just re-signed. Chinkota just re-signed.
Okay, well,
We don't want him. We don't want him.
All right.
Well, he made Merritt look like a dud.
Hey, we don't want him, mate.
We made. Why would he go to York? He made Merritt look like
a wonders, mate. All of a sudden, you're all like, Who else?
No, that's fine. That's fine. That was the only. That was the only one that. Yeah.
All right, let's move on.
No, the reason why I'm saying that is because if Carlton's doing so well and Chicago at the moment is at the peak of his game, he could probably turn around and ask for $1 million next year.
Just re-sign. He's not going to ask for $1 million. He's not silly. Chicotta is very like Chicotta's a mature age player. He came in at the age of 26. He's very thankful that he's got a position.
He's not as good as what everyone thinks, man.
He just Mark. Don't talk over me.
Football, mate. He's nothing, mate. What is he doing, Chicotta?
He played a lot of good football. He made your player look like a stud. What did Merritt do?
He's all right.
Why is every commentator talking about him?
Give him a bag of spuds, mate.
He's kicked more goals than your forwards, and he's only a tagger.
I'm just saying, he's playing some good football, but
he's playing good football.
He's worth a bag of spuds, mate. Let's go to the next game.
He made your team look like a bag of spuds.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about the other games. They're finished now. They're gone.
What do you mean? History. He made you look like an idiot. He made your best player Merritt. Yes, he did. He made Merritt look like an absolute
Hang on, mate. Did you see what Merritt did last week?
No, shut up, Manny. I'm talking to Mark. He made your player look like an absolute dud.
Yeah, okay. You said that. But did you see what Merritt did though?
And then Merritt, did you see the way he sucked? The way
we should have bet you that night, mate. We outscored you in the third quarter. You got the lucky 4 goals in the last quarter. Could have been 4 points.
Lucky 4 goals.
But you know what, though, Rocco?
Lucky.
Did you see what Merritt did this week?
West Coast almost beat you on the weekend.
But did you see what Merritt did this week? Hey, he had a chance to score. He had a chance to score a goal, and what did he do? He handballed, and he let what's his name, their ex-captain, score. Hey,
good on you,
They were so happy.
Listen, they hugged each other. We'll get to his game.
Good on you, Manny. Thanks for that, Manny.
All I'm saying is,
Manny.
All I'm saying is, a C grade player made your best player look like a spud.
Yeah, mortadella and some ciabatta roll there, bit of ciabatta roll, bit of mortadella, some Swiss cheese there, beautiful eggplant. I'm getting hungry, boys. I'm getting hungry.
Like a spud. We'll see what Geelong does to you this week. Let's get to the next game.
Where are we, boys? Come on.
Here we go. 18-8, 122 to 13-14, 92. Everyone, can everyone in the chat give Essendon a clap? So tell us about your shit side, man.
No, they're telling me about my shit side, mate. You know what? There was 42,000 supporters at the Marvel Stadium on the weekend, mate. So how's that for the Bombers getting out there? You know, we're averaging. Were you there? We're averaging. No, I couldn't go. I had a bit of COVID there, so I had. But anyway, there was. We average about 65,000 supporters. That's the average. 65,000.
It's a fake. It's a fake stat.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay, well, I must be looking at fake stats now. But anyway, we're
all right. Then, no. Why are you going to go on to that? No. Why are you going to go on to that?
Carlton is 60 and Richmond are 58.
No. Before I block you.
No. We'll just get on to the.
He loves a drive-by.
You're gonna let me
the
talk?
package.
You're gonna let me
The package.
talk?
No,
You're gonna
I'm
let me
talking
talk?
now. This is
No,
my
you're gonna
segment.
let me talk?
You can talk. You can talk.
All right, I'll let everyone know this about his fake stat, right? That stat did come out. Okay,
He's
everyone.
still
I know no one can hear you, Mark.
No.
No one can hear you. No one can hear you.
Yeah. 5
And
goals.
no, Jason,
5 goals.
it's an Italian one.
All right, listen.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about the
5
fake
goals.
stat.
Yeah.
Look at him go.
I want to hear this stat, Rock, because they've still got less members than all of us 3 clubs.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is the best, man. We don't have to hear him.
No, put him back on, man. Come
No,
on.
I told you until I've said this to you, all of you, right? If you say something and I want to address it, you have to stop because I'm not going to wait till the end of your conversation to address something.
I know,
Right,
but can I just say, at the moment you've been averaging every week this year with anything between 12 to 15 interruptions per show.
He still
He doesn't know that. No, like I keep saying to him that no one can hear you. This is the best.
All right, put him.
I want to hear your explanation, Rock.
Well, it's simple.
Put him back on now. Put him on now. Put him on now. All right, put him on now.
All right, it's simple. You know that stat is a fake stat. Why? Because they got those numbers because Essendon, right, have had more home games at the G against the bigger clubs. So naturally, right, if you're playing Carlton, Richmond, Collingwood, and they're your home games at the G, naturally the numbers are going to be overly done, aren't they? If we're playing games at Marvel and that, how can you get the same amount of numbers?
No, you can't.
So that's why that stat came out that they've got 66, but they've had more games at the G. They've had more games at the G against big clubs. Of course, they're going to get big numbers. If we play all our games at the G against big clubs, right? Of course, your numbers are going to be up. It's a rubbish stat. It's a rubbish stat.
And like I said, they've got about 20,000 less members than the rest of us do.
Yeah.
And we're sitting second last on the ladder right now.
Yeah, I know. They're just a bunch of rubbish.
What have you done to the poor bloke, mate? The poor bloke was on fire. You just couldn't sit there and give that stat after he finished.
No, because then what happens is it goes on to the next thing and the next thing, and I want to address
That's okay. But you could always just turn around and say, thanks very much for that, Mark. However, let's go back now.
Because I might forget about that, and then he might bring up another 3 things that I don't like.
Rocco, you won't forget it, mate. You make little notes. You don't forget it.
That's not how conversations go, mate. If you say something, I want to address. If you say something wrong, I'm not going to continue on with the conversation.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, okay. But a lot of times you say things that are wrong, but we just sit there and we just okay.
Here he is.
Hey, Marco. Welcome back, Marco. Now, let's get
Marco.
Marco.
No one heard what you said.
We've got the tips going. The tips going now.
You know, no one heard what you said.
That's okay. No one
just
needs to know,
wasted
mate.
your time.
As long as I know, that's the main thing.
Did you hear the stat, Mark? Did you hear it?
What's that, buddy?
The reason that your numbers are so inflated is because you play more games at the G against bigger clubs.
That's irrelevant, mate.
No, it's not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant. It's not irrelevant.
What do you want me to say, Rocco? Do you want me to say that we're sitting 13th or 15th? We're sitting in the top 4.
No, I'm just talking about that. You brought up that stat. You brought up that stat. You brought it up.
Hang on, Rocco.
You brought it up.
Listen, Rocco.
You brought it up. But you brought it up, Mark.
We're playing teams that are below us, and we're beating them. So
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about all I wanted to address was that one stat. That's all I wanted to address.
What's the stat?
This is what I mean. You don't listen. You brought up the stat about how many people come to your games.
Yeah,
You brought it up.
Yeah.
You brought it up, not me.
42,000.
And I said, well done. And then you said, we have got the most. And I tell you why. It's because of your games at the G.
I said it as
you're playing home games against Carlton, Collingwood, and Richmond.
No, Rocco, because at the end of the day, last week you were saying that the Essendon supporters don't come and see us play football. And so I thought I'd just mention that we do go and support our club. And the averages will tell you that there's 65,000.
Because you're playing at the G against us.
Doesn't matter.
So what
average?
It's
just an average,
mate. What's Carlton's average? So what's Carlton's average?
I don't know. We're all about the 60.
Right. But you were saying to me last week that no Essendon supporters go and watch the game.
So what Mark is saying is basically the Essendon supporters are up there. They're keeping the stats up there.
Right. Correct.
Well, he specifically brought up that they got the most. And I'm telling you that's because it's an inflated stat because of their games.
But they've got it though, haven't they?
I know, because they're playing us and they're playing you and and it's their home game.
Yeah.
It's about the Bombers game. If you don't play the Bombers, mate, you don't get the crowds.
If they were our home games, they wouldn't get those stats.
Oh, really? Okay. All right. Well, that's the average, Rocco. That's the average.
Anyway, hey, Mark, so would it be fair to say that your 12 forwards dominated the game against the Eagles?
No, Peter Wright obviously probably started off well, but Jackie Springer, the package, mate, kicked 5 goals like a Kerno, and we playing big bucks, and he's got
he couldn't do it against us.
Don't forget West Coast, mate. Look, what a lot of teams seem to fail about is that we're beating the teams below us, and we're beating them because I can assure you right now, towards the end of the season,
just beat them.
Doesn't matter. 5 goals, we beat them, right?
No, but you just beat Richmond. You just beat North. You've just beaten them.
Well, we beat them by 5 goals.
West Coast were in it with fucking 10 minutes to go.
Right. So we just had to, step the pedal and won the game. But I can assure you right now, Rocco, we've played the bottom teams and we've won because people are assuming that because we're up the top, we're beating all these bottom teams, but we've been predicted to finish 12th, 13th this year, and we haven't. So we're beating the teams that we should be beating. I can assure you right now, towards the end of the season, these teams like North and West Coast, Richmond, Hawthorn, they're going to beat some teams towards the end of the year that we've already played. They'll beat you guys, and you're going to say,
"Hey,
out,
Mark, can I ask a question?"
There's a game coming this week, so just be mindful. We've beaten the teams below us, and we've beaten them.
To me, you're just making up stuff because
I'm not making up nothing, Rocco, mate.
You always talk about what if this happened? What if? I'm talking about.
I didn't say what if. I'm telling you.
Yes, you did. You said. No, yes, you did because it hasn't happened yet, Mark.
It will happen.
What you're saying is not happened.
Every year,
so you don't know.
Every year, towards the end of the season,
you don't know. You still don't know.
I do know.
No, you don't know. No, you don't know. You're not fucking gods. Listen to me. You don't know. What I'm talking about is what's already happened. What I'm saying is what's already happened. That's all we can go on.
All right. Hey, Mark, can I ask?
What's already happened is that we've beaten the whole
what's
team.
already happened is this, right? If you want to be smart about your side, well done. You're third. Good stuff, right? Good stuff. I'm fucking wrapped for you, right? But listen to me, right? There's still a season. There's still half a season to go. You've beaten no one in the top 8. Until you prove yourself, you have earned no respect. by
No, it's not half
nobody.
a season, mate.
By
It's only 8 weeks
nobody.
to go.
Whatever.
Rocco,
10 weeks.
I'm telling you right
10
now.
weeks.
All right.
I
There's
reckon.
10 weeks
I
to
reckon.
Can I ask?
Rocco,
There is
I
10
reckon.
weeks
I
to go
reckon
until
you're more.
you beat them. Until you, Mark, listen.
You are
Let me
more
finish.
comfortable.
There are 10
You are
weeks
more
to go.
comfortable. You are more comfortable
Oh
beating
my
Geelong.
God! I just
You are
fucking
more
hell.
comfortable
I
beating
hate when
Geelong
you
than
talk
you are
over
beating
me.
Richmond.
I hate when
mate.
you,
I'll tell you
Mark.
that
You have to stop that. You really do. You really do. I don't know if you can't hear, but you have to stop it. Right? Listen. You are talking about something that might happen. I'm talking about what's happening this again. I can't fucking believe it. Listen. I'm talking about what's happened. The facts are these. You have beaten no one in the top 8.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah.
Why can't you leave it at that? You keep talking about, in the future, you might lose to that. You might. I don't care what might happen. All I care about is what's happened. Right?
Yeah,
You have no respect. And until you beat Geelong, Melbourne, Collingwood, Carlton, all of these sides, you will earn zero respect. Done.
Okay.
All right.
We'll wait and see what happens. What my point is that every other team takes for granted of these bottom sides towards the end of the year that they think they're going to beat them, and they will surprise a lot of teams.
But no one said that.
Well, that's what I'm trying to tell you, Rocco. At the end of the day, we've beaten the teams that are below us, and we've beaten them because we could have lost against Richmond. We could have lost against West Coast.
Is the fact? Is this a fact? All I deal with is facts. Is the fact that you're beaten the bottom 8 sides.
Oh well, how does that happen? The
fact?
AFL?
That's all I'm asking you. Is that
a
fact?
Is it the AFL?
Oh my God! Is that a fact? Is that a fact?
It's not
Is that a
Essendon's
fact?
fault.
Is that
the
a
AFL, mate?
But is that a, I don't care whose fault it is. Is that the
We are
fact?
beaten. We
Can I
are
ask a
beaten.
question?
Oh, fuck's
All right.
sake,
Hey,
mate.
Mark,
Answer the
can I ask a
question.
question?
Answer the question. Is that a fact?
Well, it's
What
not.
did you think Essendon would
Oh
be?
my
at this
God! Just answer the question. Is that the fact?
What do you think Essendon's position?
Answer the
What
question.
position? What
I don't
position did
care.
you think Essendon
Listen
would
to
be
me.
at this
I
time of
don't
the year?
care. I'm not
Manny,
listening to you.
Manny,
I'm asking you a simple
What did you
question.
think?
I'm
What did
asking
you
you
think, Manny?
fucking hell, Mark.
Yeah.
What did you
Mark,
think Essendon
listen
was
to
going to be at the end of this
Listen
year?
to me. Just
At
answer
this
the
time of year?
question.
What position
Just
did you
answer
think?
the question.
10th,
Answer
11th,
the-
12th?
Mark,
Rocco, slow down a bit,
just
mate.
answer the question. Have
Manny.
you beaten the bottom 8 sides?
We have, yes.
That's a yes or no answer. That's all that is.
But I've been saying that for the last 10 minutes, Rocco.
Have you beaten? Just answer yes or no. Have
Yes,
you
we have.
beaten the bottom 8 sides?
Yes.
Have you beaten a top 8 side?
Yes.
Which one?
Collingwood?
You didn't beat Collingwood. That's not a win. So who have you beaten?
Doesn't matter. That's irrelevant.
This is all I'm saying is this. All
Can
I'm
I just
saying
ask
is
a
this.
question? All right.
Wait, Manny. All I'm saying is this. The fact remains this. You've beaten the bottom 8. You're third on the ladder. And you haven't beaten anyone that's in the top 8. Done.
Okay. Well, things will change. Things will change.
All right. Now, can I just ask a question?
Where did you predict Essendon? Where did you predict Essendon to be, Manny? Where did you honestly?
And they still might not. And they still might not.
Like, be honest here, Manny. Where did you think at this time of the year Essendon would be on the ladder?
All right. Look, the way the Bombers finished.
To make the 8. I admit it.
The way the Bombers finished last year.
What did that move? What does that mean?
You know, the way the Bombers finished last year, and they got hammered hard by the Pies. But the way the Bombers finished last year, I actually thought that you were going to be struggling to make the 8. So you've proven me wrong. But as Rocco's pointed out, you really haven't played any team that's really been
just play out the season.
For the 8.
Just play out the season and see what happens.
Can I ask a question, please? Now the package. Who are you calling the package?
What you don't know.
Stringer. Okay. So if you're calling Stringer the package, if you were to compare the Stringer we say, let's say Charlie Curnow, what would you say if Stringer's the package? What would you call Curnow?
What do you mean?
Sorry, mate. I fucking warned him before the show.
That doesn't come to the play when it comes to finals. What do you want to say?
What do you mean?
Well, it doesn't come to play when it comes to finals.
But Stringer hasn't played any
Stringer
finals.
in the finals would be a different story.
What do you mean he doesn't come to play finals?
Well,
we got to a preliminary. We got to a fucking preliminary, mate.
Well, we
what
did.
Does that even mean?
Finals,
what does that even mean? What does that even mean? We made it to a fucking preliminary. What does that even mean, Mark?
That's about it.
What does that even mean, mate? Seriously, no, mate. I know you're trying to be funny, but you got no fucking idea, and that's the problem with your team. You think you're better than what you are. We'll see what Danger does this week. Let's move on.
We'll see what he does.
Let's move on. Please,
we'll see what Dusty does this week.
Is
Dusty playing? Dusty playing? Is Dusty playing?
Is Dusty good?
Your job, mate. Here you go, Manny. Your job.
All right. Well, Sydney's sitting pretty on their own up there. We don't need to talk about them because they'll be playing finals football. Carlton, there you go. There's Carlton, mate. Super Carlton at the moment, mate. They are peaking, mate. They are peaking. If they were in a porno movie, they'll be called Jeremy Holmes because they are absolutely peaking at the moment. The Bombers,
who's Jeremy Holmes?
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a combination between two porn stars. However, let's continue. You got the Bombers. Look, the Bombers are the surprise package. Let's point out the fact that they've played every single team that's on the bottom outside the 8 there, all those bottom teams. But having said that, they are sitting third position. So you've got to give them credit at the moment. They are a game inside the, or 1.5 games inside the 8 there. So and of course you got the Mighty Pies, injuries, this, that. I don't know where the Magpies. Look, I'm surprised the Magpies are sitting there at the moment, but time will tell. And of course, all we can say about Richmond is that's.
What you about to sing that song then?
That's the end of that.
You're getting better.
Ron Jeremy. That's what I pointed out. Ron Jeremy.
No, Ron Jeremy and Johnny Holmes.
Johnny Holmes.
That's why I said Jeremy Holmes. Yeah. Two superstars in the porn industry who are peaking, and that's what Carlton at the moment is doing, mate. They are peaking.
We will let Quinny say something. We'll talk. Let's hope that Mark doesn't fucking try to talk over everyone, but we'll try to get Quinny. All right, let's go into. We went into the ladder. Let's go into next week's games. Let's do it. Quinny, this is your job.
It is my job. Let's do it. Let's get it. While we start on Friday, we got because we'll do the tipping while we're going through. Friday night, Brisbane take on Melbourne at the Gabba. And Brisbane have found some form. They absolutely demolished Port Adelaide last week in Adelaide. And I don't see them losing to Melbourne at the moment. So Brisbane for me.
Brisbane for me. Melbourne are shot, man. They're done.
Yeah, I agree. Brisbane for me.
Mark?
Yeah, Brisbane. Lock it in. Brisbane.
Right, next one. This is interesting.
All righty, yeah, North Bulldogs. This is the type of game that the Bulldogs would drop when finals are on the line, which it really is for them at the moment. But, I mean, Bulldogs have to be the coming in against North. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, and they should get the job done.
Yeah, I agree. Even though you're starting to see North Melbourne the kind of game they want to play with their young kids. So, and they've had 3 really close games. So, is there no bond? But I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters.
Yeah,
is there no bond?
No, I don't know, but I think they should the game against North. They should still win. If they can, if I was a contender, they'll get it.
Yeah. All right, cool. Everyone going for Western Bulldogs or what?
Yeah, I think so. Bulldogs for me.
We'll just great.
Woof, woof.
So we'll about this team already. Sydney get on Freo at the SCG. It is just that saying that Sydney wins.
Sydney, you're starting to crack a little bit there, Quinny.
Am I?
Yeah.
Sydney.
Yeah, Sydney for me. Everyone, Sydney?
Yes. Sydney for me.
Sydney.
All right. Keep going, Quinny. I'll let you know if you're doing good.
All right, Matt. Your take on up at Gold Coast. Big. Been super convincing, but I've lost this year up at Gold Coast Jets. So I think one.
So you got them there. They're playing at People First Stadium. Yeah, you're still breaking up a bit. I don't know. This happened last time too. I don't know what it is. Could it be the internet or? Yeah, you're going in and out. Yeah, and we need you for the Carlton Richmond game, mate.
Yes.
Well, he's trying to dodge the bullet, maybe.
He's frozen now. No, he's there.
No, he's not frozen. I can see his eyes move. But what are you? Well, you're going to say, Colin?
No, I'm here. Sorry, I'm trying.
You what?
Yeah,
go for it, mate.
Collingwood.
You're going to go Collingwood?
Man, he's Pendlebury playing his 400th game. Is he playing his 400th? Manny.
Look, there's they reckon Pendlebury should be back. Myercheck might be back. The Goey, we're not sure at the moment, but it looks like Pendlebury will be back, mate.
For his 400th game.
No, he doesn't play for another 4 or 5 weeks. 400.
Oh, right. Okay, then. Okay. In that case, I'm going to go flip of the coin. So let's hope for the gods there, Manny. The Greek gods there, and it is heads. So Gold Coast for me.
I'm going to go Suns too. I'm going to go Suns too, only because, as I said, they play pretty good up there. They don't seem to lose up there. I know Colin will play well, but I just don't think you're playing that great of football. So I'm going to go Suns.
But speaking of Greek gods, there, Marco. I don't know if I told you this when I first met my wife. She was bragging to everyone that she's marrying a Greek god, and of course, 25 years later, she says she's married to a goddamn Greek. So there you go.
Well, we'll see if I know you've said that joke like 3 times in the last 2 years.
Look, I'm not sure. That's why I asked the question. Relax.
Quinny, next game.
All righty. Let me know if I'm still shit. We've got taken on the Adelaide Oval. I think the one.
Yeah, you're still breaking up. All right. Who are you picking?
Giants. Even Brock.
Oh, look, I reckon Adelaide will come back and they'll win this thing. I've got a funny feeling that they need to do this for their supporters. So I think Adelaide for me.
All right, I'm going to go. What did you say, Manny?
I haven't said anything at the moment, Rocco. I want to hear what you're going to say.
I think Adelaide at home. Giants are playing okay, but I don't know. Adelaide for me.
Yeah, look, they didn't play too well against Sydney at home, and Sydney that second half they just looked so good. You know what? I might go for Adelaide too.
Yeah, Tex might be back. Crow, yeah. All right, so everyone's going for Adelaide. All right, next one. We might as well
Hello?
do the next.
Quinn said Giants.
Huh?
Quinn said
Yeah,
Giants.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll put him down. All right, let's go to the next one. He'll come back on. He's probably going to go on to the thing. All right, this one's your game. The Cats demolition of Essendon. They're coming at 7:30 on Saturday night, and he's back. Are you back?
I don't know. You tell me. Is it better
Yeah,
or worse?
Perfect. That's
Much
better.
better.
All right.
Much better.
All right. So we just went through the Cats and Essendon. Before we get Mark's little spill on the game, I'm gonna go. You know me. I don't think Essendon can beat a top 8 side, so I'm going Cats.
Yeah, look, it's interesting you say that, Rocco. But to be fair, if Essendon hadn't beaten these, second tier teams, you'd be saying how shit Essendon is. So the facts are they're not losing; they actually are winning. So that makes a big difference. But having said that, I think Geelong is out to seek a bit of revenge. So as much as I'd like to say Bombers, I'm going to go for the Cats here.
Merit concussion. They want Quinny back on top. Yeah, all right. So what about you, Quinny?
Honestly, this is a bit of a flip of the coin for me. I think this is the big test or a big test for Essendon. I'm gonna go Essendon because Geelong haven't been convincing me. I think, I don't know. Geelong aren't convincing me at the moment, so I'm gonna go Essendon.
Thanks, Quiddy.
They play at the MCG.
Your game.
They played at the MCG.
Yeah. I'm not gonna drill on it too much. Obviously, Geelong they're gonna come out fighting, obviously, because Carlton gave them a bit of a belt, and so they're gonna come out fighting Geelong. But I think these days now it's about other teams jumping in, and Essendon I think will have an opportunity to beat these teams. Why they've got the opportunity? Heppel's playing his 250th game, so fantastic. Dyson Heppel, fantastic person, genuine player, and I think Essendon will win by 4 goals this week. So the Bombers for me.
Wow.
Already put you down as the Bombers.
Okay.
Yeah, no, listen, he reckons the game will prove nothing. I'm telling you, Essendon, I'm just going to predict this. Essendon lose this, they won't make the 8.
Big call.
It's a big statement.
Okay.
Well, if they can't beat Geelong, who are seriously, their midfield is slow now. We showed them up in a lot of things. They're going to have to move their forward line a little bit, so maybe that will help them. Defense, I'm sure now Stewart's. That's not the first time they put a tag on Stewart and he's failed. So I think Essendon, if they're smart, they'll do the same thing. Here's their drive from the back. Their ruckman, what do they do? If you can't beat Geelong, I'm telling you, it's done. But we'll see. This is your biggest test. Carlton was your biggest test, Collingwood. But at the moment, you lose this, you're done.
I wouldn't say if we lose it, we're done. Geelong's always going to come out fighting.
It is like a statement game for you.
It is a statement game for us, and I'll tell you what, if we do beat Geelong this week, which I'm comfortable that we should really, if we want to get to that next level of playing finals. That's how I see it. If not, then we're back to square one and we'll keep fighting from there. But it'd be nice to get the points and win against teams that are, within the top 8, is that what you say, Rocco? Within the top 8. So, but
well, if you win it, then if you win it, you start to secure that spot, and you start to
get more comfortable and confident. But like I said, you can't be too confident because the teams that are below you, will start winning games that you're not expected. You're expected to win, and all of a sudden these teams below you will beat you. So every game you take it by its merits, and I would love to bet Geelong because, to be honest, Geelong has been a dark horse for us, and I'd love to just see us bet him by at least
Geelong's
a point.
been a dark horse for everybody.
Right, there you go. Yeah.
Do you do you think Carlton's win? Do you think Carlton's win against the Bombers was better than the win against the Geelong, Rocco? Who would you, if you were looking at both games? I know 2 different games, 2 different style of teams you played against.
Geelong's a better side. I mean, you think about it, they're much more experienced, you know what I mean? They got stars all over the ground. They had players coming back, and we played a more complete game against Geelong. That was our most complete game. We won in every stat, we won in every quarter, we won everything. It's the most complete game. Against to tell you the truth, when we played Essendon, I honestly can say I was not scared at all. But
So
when we played Geelong, I had this little fear of what they did to us earlier on in the year. And I thought, have we learned from that? That's all teams can do. They can just learn the next one. You might lose. The good thing about Carlton is we're winning. Not only we're winning, we're learning by each quarter. We're learning by each game. We're winning differently. Boss is learning. He's making different moves. You know what I mean? He's changing. People they're responding to him. So when you say, is it a better win? I think it was a better win.
Okay.
But we got some big games coming up. Don't worry. We got you guys. We still got North Melbourne. We still got West Coast. We still got St Kilda.
Yeah,
Massive.
They're big
Oh,
teams.
Talking about St Kilda.
Big teams.
Okay. We'll wait and see.
All right, next game.
All right, well, yeah, speaking of St Kilda take on Port Adelaide at Marvel Stadium on.
Ah.
I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna pick St Kilda on this one.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but because they're
Only
playing
because it's at home. Only because it's at home. St Kilda for me.
Yeah.
I'm a Kilda as well.
Fuck. You know what? I don't know. Who said St Kilda? You, Quinny?
Yeah.
Manny?
Yeah.
Mark?
What's that, mate?
Who'd you pick?
St Kilda, mate. St Kilda. St Kilda.
You know what?
I don't know why, but St Kilda.
I'm going Port. I mean, Port's on its knees now. They got to fucking come back. They can't win over here, but St Kilda are fucking. They're the most irrelevant side in the competition, man. I don't know what they're doing either, but fucking hell, Port, mate. They were booing the coach. They were booing the coach, man, and they were leaving really early. And they're asking for his head, you know. So there's a lot of shit coming back. So I expect the players. I expect the players to respond this week, because if they've got any fucking if they've got any sort of self-belief and even, mate, these players have got to come out this week, mate, and play for that coach, man. What are they doing, mate? The coach getting booed, that's on the players, mate. What are you doing, mate? So I expect them to come back and win.
They should come back.
Hey, can we listen, everyone just stop for a sec, right? Everyone just stop, shut up.
Mark belongs at the bottom. Mark belongs at the bottom. Mark belongs at the bottom.
I don't like that.
Listen to me, mate. Look at this. Everyone was saying it. Everyone was saying it. Mark belongs at the bottom. Put Quinn back to the top. Look, it's not. I've got to do what they want, mate.
All right. Yeah, all right.
See, look, everyone's fucking happy. Yay.
All right,
Much
okay.
better.
All right, that's it. All right, much better.
It's only because Quinn is a beautiful. It's only because Quinn is a beautiful sensational.
All right, go. You know what we do here? Can we do the last game and then we'll do our game?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, done. We got Hawks West Coast taking on Hawthorn and Optus Oval. I don't know with Harley. Hawthorn should win this one. They're playing some good footy in there. They're going to push 8, so Hawthorn for me.
Hey, I just realised that the moment you put Quinn on top, he started freezing up again. Maybe he's designed to be on the bottom.
Maybe he likes it on the bottom. Do you like it on the bottom,
Down
Mandy,
there.
or do you like it on the top?
Hey, listen, you're asking a Greek or Christian. Doesn't matter. Bottom on top, it doesn't matter, mate. We're Greeks. We're flexible.
I think the Eagles will win this game by a couple of goals. They actually got a very strong backline, Barras and McGovern there, and Hoskin Allen, whatever his name is, and Woodham and Lyon. So I think the West Coast Eagles will win this game because they're going to start coming towards some other teams towards the top of the ladder there, and might surprise some teams this year. I think.
Yeah. No, you're right there.
It was clean, Matula. I was being. Does he want to be on the top of the screen or the bottom of the screen? Like, it was a simple question. I'm going Eagles too, just because it's at home. But in saying that, I'm in no confidence about this because Hawks are actually one of the informed sides of the competition at the moment.
Yeah, look, you're right there. Hawthorn has been, and I think this is an important game for Hawthorn because they will be pretty much knocking at the top 8 door there. And if a couple of teams don't win, percentage might, I don't know. But I'm going to say Hawthorn.
All right, let's go into this last one. Here it is. The big game, Richmond v Carlton. See, like what I was saying before, you know what's going to happen here. No matter what the crowd is, right? The attendance will be put onto yours because it's your home game. Does that make sense to everyone? And Marco didn't want to understand. 17 plays second, Sunday the 30th. It's a 3:20 p.m. game. I actually like that time. I don't care what anyone says. I like it. You go to the game, you finish about 6:30, then you go out to dinner somewhere, so it's a good time for me.
Yeah,
so
the 3:20 is a great time. 4:40 is too late on a Sunday. 3:20
is a good time.
Yeah, 3:20 is
well, I'm picking Carlton for this game.
Yeah, I'm going to pick Carlton too, of course. What are you doing, Mark? You're going to pick Richmond?
Sure, going to take this off.
No, I think I'll go Carlton. Just 2 goals, I reckon.
Just.
After all that talk, you couldn't even fucking back it up with the Richmond win. All right, let's go. Quinny, let's do a quick review because you can use this also for your Tiger Den, mate. Tell us who's coming in, who's out. I think is Lynch out, isn't he?
Where is he?
Shaking. Can you hear us? No,
Quinn.
lost him.
Yeah, look, I think he's pressing the mute so he doesn't give away anything whatsoever.
Hey, looky now. All right.
Well, I did have a question for Quinn about. I reckon they should inquire about the ongoing injuries that Richmond have been getting. Obviously Lynch now been injured, so I think they need to do an inquiry about the injury list. So you don't want to wait till the end of the year to sort that out. They need to do it right now because there's too many injuries at the Richmond Football Club, and you don't want to wait.
I mean, it can happen. I mean, that's your fitness and strengthening coach there.
That's what I'm trying to say. Rock. They need to make an inquiry now, this time of the year, not at the end of the year, and then they still have injuries, halfway through next year. So make an inquiry now about the Richmond Football Club with the injuries because there's too many injuries. You put Lynch back on, he's back out for another 2 weeks, Hopper and so forth. So I was going to ask Quinn these questions about, they need to make, I think, some form of an inquiry to their fitness staff and their club on.
How do you think that? There you go. He's on his phone.
Is that any better?
That's
Much
good.
better.
There we go. What are we talking about? How Richmond's going to win on the weekend, or?
Yeah, so we're going to talk about that.
Hey, listen, I actually like sitting on top. I feel very uncomfortable there on the bottom. I don't know why, but maybe something we need to review.
So the thing is, all right. So so matchups. So we'll just quickly go over some matchups, and that. Yeah, at the end of the day, I know Mark doesn't rate our forwards, but we've got the two big men. Who are you going to put on them? And you got who is it that's back? Grimes back surgery again, I think. Yeah, who's
Yeah. So Grimes hasn't played in a while anyway, but yeah, he's out for the year now. So we don't have Grimes. Look, the obvious one for me is Noah Bolter will go to Kerno, and then Ben Miller is going to have to go to Harry. And that's saying if we don't put Bolter up forward, because we've got no key forwards either at the moment, with Lynch now out for another couple of weeks. So my tip is Noah Bolter goes to Kerno, and Ben Miller, who's actually been pretty serviceable this year. I think he's only lost 2 one-on-ones of the whole season. He's actually been all right for a young guy. I'd say he'll go to Harry.
All right, nice. And then you've got I suppose you were saying you haven't got many forwards. I mean, we've got Wiedering, we got McGovern, you got Assad, we got Kemp's another one there. He's been playing really good, man. So it sounds like it doesn't matter who they go on to in the back there. As I said, Wiedering is having a fantastic. I don't think he's another one, like you said, about your player, but he doesn't lose too many one-on-ones, so he'll take on anyone there. He's good. Our run off the back has been superb now. The big change over the last 4 or 5 weeks has been McGovern and Saad, mate, running back, mate. You don't know how important they are to us. And the other big move is Williams at the front. He's the one that's opened up all those moves now, that we can keep Kemp and we can keep Cincotta. Now, Cincotta's the other one there. Who's he going to go on? So we were discussing this yesterday. So there could be a fruit. They might chuck him on Dusty. I can't really see anyone else. Maybe Shea, but I doubt it. You know what I mean? So I think it might.
I don't know if I don't know if Cincotta can
keep up with him.
I know he's been shutting out plays. I don't know if he's got the speed to run with Shea, just because Shea's so quick and nifty. I'd say if he's got one, it would be Dusty. But I don't know if I know his role has been a tagger, but do you have to? I don't think. And this is obviously talking shit about my own side, but I don't think we've got anyone that you really need to tag. Is it almost a waste having him tag someone against Richmond? Because I know, obviously you look at the teams you played recently, and Butters been playing good footy, got tagged. Merritt's having a good season, got tagged. With Richmond, no one's really standing out to the point where I feel like you don't need to tag necessarily. But I mean, look, the options there. Could even go to Taranto. He wins a lot of the footy. Yeah, Taranto's been winning a lot of the footy since he's been back. He's been averaging 30 or so since he's been back. But I don't think he's damaging enough. So is it worth?
I think the thing is with Cincotta, right? He's the type of player, right, that needs a role. He needs to be given some sort of role. So the reason he plays well is, and our coach has said this, you just give him a role and he'll do it. I think there are some players that need that. They go, right, this is your role, mate. You do this, and they go there and they do their job. So I think he needs to go to someone. So that's why I'm thinking, I think Dusty's one of the most perfect kind of positions we can put him. It's good learning curve for him too, but Dusty's still going to be, he still can get off the leash. He's still dangerous, you know what I mean? I reckon Cincotta, you know what I mean?
You reckon Dusty's dangerous?
He could be dangerous. Did you see what he did against?
Yeah, no, look, I think Dusty's pretty much now, getting dusty and rusty.
And that's the problem the difference between a good side and a bad side, because I guarantee the Carlton Football Club will not be saying that Dusty is done, mate. They'll be concentrating, because if you can stop Dusty, man, you go a long way winning this game. I don't care what anyone says. Dusty does more than just just kick goals and that. Dusty lifts the team, mate. He's a leader, mate. He's a leader, and that's what you got to do, man. You got. It's like when he went on to Merritt, and you can say whatever you want, but Merritt's your leader. And as soon as he nullified Merritt, and Merritt in that second quarter cracked it, right? You could see you had him. You had him, and it affected the whole team, right? So if you can affect one of your great players, I think that's what they'll do. And I think that he'll go to Dusty, but we'll see. My son's on thing, and he reckons that Bolter will kick 3 goals again. Yeah, Bolter's someone that will just stand up and kick some goals. So anyway, look, at the end of the day, let's be serious. Of course that Richmond could win this. They might come up and win this. But let's be serious. On the form that we're at, we're a 1 or 2 goal better side each quarter. I predict this to be at least a 6 to 8 goal win. And it has to be. It has to be. Man, we've got the firepower from front to back. Like, seriously.
Yeah, I think even with our full side, as a Carlton supporter, you should expect to beat Richmond. But especially with the way we're at and where we're at and where you're at, I, as a Carlton fan, would be expecting nothing less. And I did a little bit of research. I went back to have a look at, and I know we're very different teams, both sides, but I went and looked at the last time that we played, right? And obviously Carlton's known for being, as they were known for being such a contested machine. Like, they just won so much contested footy. I remember we came in, we were +6 in clearances and +11 in contested possessions. But then you started killing us on that turnover game. And you found, like you said, Rocky, you found other ways to win. And that's what scares me, because with the cattle that we've got and the way that we're playing, I think if you said to us, all right, we'll just get to beat him in the middle and we're a good chance, then that'd be simple and we could get that done. But the fact that you can beat us in 12 different ways, I think just makes the job that much harder for us. And look, it's a rivalry game. You hope you get up, you compete a little bit. Like, obviously thought we're going to get pumped round 1, only lost by 5. Thought Essendon were probably going to do a number on us. We only lost by a couple of goals. So we could play competitive footy and be thereabouts, but yeah, I don't see it being a super friendly game for myself on Sunday.
What crowd do you think, boys? What crowd do you think? What crowd do you think?
I'm thinking about 70-odd thousand, 72, 75,000 maybe.
Yeah, I can say 75. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say about that.
Because it's Richmond's. It's Richmond's home game too, so a lot of our member allocation will be given to us. So
that's right. And it's look, Richmond. Unfortunately, when you start losing, not everyone shows up. So it's still going to be a big crowd. The other point is Cherry is back. I think Cherry's the one that's come back this week. So we got Cherry. So we're just going to strengthen that midfield. Let's be serious. As you said, we win in many ways now. We're strong all over the ground. So we should win this pretty easily. I think. You're going to go for Richmond, aren't you?
Yeah, always.
All right, done. All right, perfect.
Always.
So that's about time that we give a good analytical,
a good review.
Yep. Yeah,
very good review.
When you play, can you actually do something and maybe do the same sort of review when you play one of the rivals? How's that sound?
Definitely. I don't mind having a review of.
Don't do it, Manny. Fucking hell, I'm gonna have to do it. It's the rule, Manny. It's the rule. Listen.
All right. I feel better now that I'm on the left. I don't like the fact that you had me on the right. So
now it's like when you sleep. Can you sleep on the other side of your bed?
What do you mean?
So, what do you mean? What do you mean? You got a side on your bed. Do you sleep with your wife?
Of course I do.
Right. Some people don't. Some people have single beds, mate. I'm asking you. So, have you got one side that you sleep on?
Yes.
Right. So, if you happen to be sleeping on the other side, does it feel uncomfortable?
No.
Doesn't it? I can't get comfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
See,
I can't do it.
Hey, listen, I'm an all-rounder.
I think you're
top
full
and
of
bottom.
shit. Mark, what about you?
What's that, mate?
Like you got one side of the bed that you sleep on?
Yeah, I'm always comfortable one side of the bed, and that's it.
If you go the other side, would you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah, of course I would. But, I'll adapt
Sometimes
somehow if I have to.
When she's not in bed and I go over to the other side, it's like I'm on a holiday, like you're on a different bed.
I can adapt to it if I have to. If I have to adapt to it, I will.
You have to adapt to it. All right, listen. Last week, we got the tips. I think. What did we do? Oh, sorry. What did we do, man?
I'm coming, Manny.
He's
coming.
Last week, Quinny got 5. Manny and me got 4, and Mark got 3. He's falling away like the Bombers. As you can see, I moved away another one, so 77 to 74. Manny 69.
My favourite number.
Your favourite number, and Quinny is on 66 and slowly catching.
Low.
All right.
Very slowly.
Come on, guys. He's absolutely right, man. 63 watching and only 31 likes. What's going on, mate? Everyone should be liking this show, man. All right, let's go. All right, I did say everyone wants to hear about the Catman, the Catman, the Catman, the Catman, the Catman. Last night, if you watched, I showed a bit of vision of the Catman. He was cracking it in the cheer squad, and he cried. And if you know who the Catman is, he dresses like a cat. He paints his face. And he eats. I think he's a Furby. I think he thinks he's a cat, a real cat. Whatever. Anyone can do whatever they want to do. I don't care. But he started cracking it in the cheer squad, and he started going at his own supporters, and then the Carlton people were just hammering him, and he cracked it. And
because they're losing now, mate. They're losing. That's why. Because
what I'm going to crack up. He brought out a video yesterday, and he started attacking the Carlton supporters. He started attacking the Carlton supporters, right?
Yeah,
and he started saying we're the worst fucking supporters, and that we were gay phobic to him. Not we, I wasn't there. They were gay phobic to him, and they threatened him, and that. And I could tell you something. I spoke to someone who was actually in the vicinity there, and none of that was ever said. None of that was ever said. The bloke is full of shit, mate. He's come out and he's attacked now. And these people, some of these people are on camera because they've caught him, because people took videos, not that they caught him saying anything. This is absolutely a disgrace, man. You can come out on social media now and just attack anyone, right? When that never happened. All those supporters were doing was having a bit of fun, and he started to crack it, and they just went for it, right? Which is what you do at the footy. You have a bit of fun and you go for it, right? For him to come out, right, and start attacking the Carlton people, right, the Carlton supporters, and it could have been anyone. Could have been Essendon supporters, could have been Magpie supporters, could have been anyone, right, attacking it and calling them gay phobic and calling them that he was threatened and calling them that he was scared is a load of absolute rubbish. Is a load and don't come out and absolutely spin your shit on social media and say these absolute lies, mate, about the people that were watching. If you can't take it, don't go to the footy, mate. You've had a great run. And I guarantee that in the last game when they beat us, because I wasn't in the cheer squad there, but I remember those Cat supporters when they beat us in round, whatever it was, round fucking 7, right? You should have seen them go, mate. You should have seen them go at the Carlton people, right? They had their fun. Now that they've gone back at them, like this bloke sooking on social media and that, hit the fucking road. How about you stay in Geelong, don't come to the footy anymore, mate, and stop fucking bagging people when it's not even true, mate. What a load of rubbish. Hit the road. Done.
Yeah.
Maybe he was eating the wrong cat food. Maybe he needs to change his cat food.
Fine, mate. They just woke people, man, going about, man. I don't care, man, but don't start accusing people that. Man, I wasn't there. But what I saw, man, it was some fun banter. I don't think no one's there giving him gay phobic and threatening him. Who was threatening him?
Oh,
man?
obviously he's out there, isn't he, mate? He's dressed up in the cat, mate. So he's going to cop it.
What, and if you actually see the video, he's there cracking it at his own people.
Yeah.
Right? And he's calling those supporters abusive. Hit the road, mate.
Yeah.
Hit the road, mate. maybe
No.
Catman, mate. Fucking dress like that. What do you expect's going to happen if you dress like that? What do you think's going to happen to you? What do you think? You dress like that, you think people aren't going to attack you? Man, hit the road. That's my little bit of a rant.
Wow. Okay.
Let's make life miserable for him on Saturday night, mate. Make it a lot more worse than what he's copping now.
I'm telling you, he's going to fucking be there, man. And if he's win, you watch him.
We'll
I bet you won't put anything on social media.
I'll just throw eggs at him, mate. I'll just throw eggs at him.
No, don't throw things at anyone. You're not throwing. People in Fourever Rivals do not throw things, Mark. Do you understand? We're not throwing anything.
Look, eggs.
No, you don't throw anything. That's assault. You're not throwing anything. You're not throwing anything. All we're going to do is quietly tell him. We're just going to quietly tell him to hit the highway.
To be fair, Rocco, to be fair, you do throw things. To be fair, you do throw things.
What do I hurt your feelings? Do I?
No, you throw tantrums.
That's true.
That's what you do. Tantrums. Yeah.
But that's me.
Some spuds.
That's
some marshmallows.
I don't hurt anyone.
No, that's right. You think you don't.
If you get hurt, I can only say one thing to you. Put some
concrete
coffee in the middle and fucking harden up.
Mate, not me. I'm water off a back. Okay.
All right. It's come to this time that we're waiting for. Manny's gonna make us laugh.
Come on, Manny.
Oh, is it? All right. Okay. Well, this one's it's an oldie but a goodie. So young chap walks into the pharmacy. He says to the young lady at the counter, "I'm after a packet of condoms, please." And she said, "Oh, what size are you, sir?" He says, "Look, I've got no idea." He says, "Look, there's a fence outside in the back there. It's got 3 holes. How about you go out there, give it a go, come back, let me know." So he's standing on the other side of the fence and he's doing what he's got to do. And the young lady was standing on the other side of the fence. And of course, she was doing what she was doing. And long story short, he's gone through all 3 holes and he's then run into the back into the chemist. And the young lady is fixing herself up and she says, "So what size are you, sir?" And he says, "Fuck the condoms, I'm taking the fence home."
Very good, man.
I like it.
Was it a timber fence or an aluminium fence?
Look, it doesn't matter, mate. A hole's a hole.
He loves it. He loves it.
A hole.
Yeah, people are laughing, man.
Okay.
Manny Bunnings have a special on cans of Harden Up. Oh, yeah, but no, he's all right, Manny. Dylan's funny. He's laughing. Fing reckons that was good. I do like that. I did hear that last week. He did tell me. I think what you do from now on is I don't want to hear the joke.
Okay. All right.
Because I want it to be spontaneous.
I was only telling you the joke, basically screening the joke. But now that we know what we've tested the waters.
Listen, man. No one can cancel us. We can say whatever. Well, what are you worried about?
Mate, look at me. I'm nearly 60 years old and I've got no grey hair. Do I look like I worry?
Are you 60?
I said I'm nearly 60.
I would have picked you for fucking not a year past 70.
What? So you're saying what, 69?
I would pick you for a 69. All right, listen.
I appreciate that.
I agree with us there, but great show tonight. Thanks again. Next time, less screaming. Well, I'm telling you now, you're not going to get that off me. It's up to these bananas here. You trigger me, I'm going to fucking scream all night. And if you don't like it, Seba, if you don't like it, get your fucking broken back and piss off and watch another. Go and watch 360. What are you watching us for? Piss off.
Don't be like that.
Stuff him. Him and his broken back.
We like Seba. Actually, we like everyone that comes on our show.
No, we love everyone.
We like their feedback.
Did everyone like the live show? Because we might be organising another one. What have you got up there, Quinny? You got a big fucking. That looked rude there for a second.
Mentalongulo.
What?
Yeah, you didn't see it. Yeah, like a big farm. All right, great show, lads. See you next week. All right. We'd say thanks everyone for coming on. I'm going to go and get some sleep because I am absolutely rooted, mate. But that was good. I seriously think that this week we're going to work out the men from the boys, and the boy is in the right-hand corner, bottom there, mate.
Well, time will tell. Good luck to your teams, and don't forget, hot pies.
Shit pies, mate. Shit pies. Go the mighty Bombers, mate.
All right. I'll give you one more to, where is it? Well, why can't I find this? I'm bloody losing the plot here, mate. Here. All right. I'll give you one more chance.
Hot
2, 3, 1. Go, Blues!
Go, Bombers!